start your show now, press 1 to hear.
Your show will go live in 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1.
Nobody take no cornbread from me.
All right, testing 1, 2. This is the Tim Black Show. Share us on social media. All right, how y'all doing? What's up? What's going on? My name is Tim Black. Welcome to the Tim Black Show. I'm your host for the show, of course. I didn't just break in here and steal someone's mic. This is my mic. It's my camera. It's my set. And it's our Friday, Freedom Friday. Let me put the phone number up, guys. If you're new to the show, let me tell you, Freedom Friday is where you get to call up, and it's open mic night on the Tim Black Show. People call up and they voice their opinions about politics, the world, and what's going on in it. So if you want to get on the line and speak your mind, go right ahead, 319-527-6212. Look forward to hearing from you. Now let me go check and make sure that people on YouTube can hear the show, and everything's good to go. And yeah, Tatiana, Leroy, Freedom Friday. Who faded you up, Tim? I did this. Yeah, thank you for noticing, man. I try and get better at it. I'm like, I want to keep the bed, but I'm going to try to control it, Tatiana. I'm going to bring it down, but, Princess Queen, you know what I'm saying? Y'all feel me? Keep it clean, but keep it. I look crazy without it. What's up, Steve Running? Good evening, Steven Running. Jewelry by Nala. What's up, Jewelry by Nala? What kind of jewelry you got, Nala? What's up, Aurora and Robin and Brian? Jesus. Ty. What's up, Ty? Mike Sarvis and Consueli. Lotus Flower, Latanya Bailey, Rahul's in the house. Anthony, Rebecca. We got the usual suspects with Buck Bewley doing the moderating. Rev Marie, Sign of the Times in the house. Roseanne Matarama, you over there somewhere? Uli's in the house. I'm thinking Schultze, Eric Father, Cannabis Sativa. Tina Lou Mack. Bonnie's in the house. Hey, Bonnie. Hi from Chicago. Hi from Maryland, Bonnie. Back at you. Rebecca V. Eric Sermon. Oh, that's Cerner. I'm sorry. I'm like, Eric Sherman, what? The Green Eye Bandit? Look, guys, Canvas Dancer. Anthony and Mickey. Sabby. Buddy. We got a good crew, man, looking out on YouTube. I'll be back, YouTube, but for now, guys, share this on your social media, Twitter, Facebook, wherever you are. And now let me check, speaking of Facebook, let me check with my Facebook people. Make sure Facebook people are good to go. Damian Johnson. Big Johnson, across the page. I love it. What's up, Dolores? What's up, Fedson? And Becky, and Jan, and Lee Cox, and Jen, and Jasmine. Yes, Margarita Silver Potts is in the house. Mark La Prada, Karen and Janice. Sunshine. I got sunshine. Wish I could sing. Never been a singer. Khadijah's back. Welcome back, Khadijah. Joanne's in the house and Ginger Liberty's in the place. Rose Wade. There you go, Rose. Hello, Rose. What's up, Becky? Becky Dever. Like fever, but a D. Ryan, what's up, Ryan? Good crowd on Facebook, man. We're doing it again. I love this. We're letting our presence be known. Andrea Wright. Yes. I want you guys to know, I want you to know that tonight I'm going to have a very short monologue. So we're going to go try to get the calls. Hey, Fran, how you doing? Marcy, how you doing? Susan, how you doing? I'm going to go to calls pretty quick tonight, so I just want to let you know. Because I don't have that much to say. Couple updates from yesterday, though. Okay, so quick monologue. First topic we like to hit is here we go. Okay, so the Ahmaud Arbery update. Ahmaud Arbery. Check this out, guys. Now, we've been talking about this heart-wrenching story of a young man who was out jogging and what ensued when he was jogging. That these couple of culprits here, the McMichaels, Gregory McMichael and Travis McMichael, decided to take it upon themselves to run him down, to chase him down like an animal because, well, he fits the description. Oh, that's my second story. My bad, guys. That's my second story. Okay. So Ahmaud, he fit the description of, according to them, because we don't even know what the description is of the alleged person they say who broke into some homes over some period of time or whatever. Like, whatever they were saying that they thought he may have been a person who did something, I don't know. But this is what happened. So they decided, as you all know, guys, anybody who doesn't know, they decided they want to chase him down because he was jogging through their neighborhood. Now, this was broad daylight. He was wearing a pair of shorts and a white T-shirt. He was not driving a van to steal stuff. Yeah, it's kind of, I don't know what. One of these people, the older gentleman, Gregory McMichael, and I use the term gentleman lightly, he used to be a police officer. Mr. Police Officer Bigot, sir. Murderer, sir. Do people usually ransack homes with no way of transporting items? I'm just checking, man. Because who robs a house in broad daylight in a pair of shorts and a T-shirt with no car, no getaway vehicle, nobody with them? Like, what are you talking about? So the whole story stunk to begin with. And the last update we had on this story was after 2 months, because remember, this actual incident took place in February. Here it is May, and we're finally getting real movement in this case. That's because the case went from Glenn County to the Georgia Bureau of Investigation, and the Georgia Bureau of Investigation said, we got this. Let's just hope they do something with it. But they have it, and they've already done something with it. After having the case only 72 hours, they've already leveled 2 indictments. One is a murder indictment on both men. That's right, murder. One charge is murder. The other charge is aggravated assault. I'm not sure exactly how much time that would carry, but I got a feeling murder and aggravated assault would carry a life in prison. So today, this morning, there was an update to the story because, well, they held a press conference earlier this morning, which was new. So this was great. So the lieutenant spoke at length about different areas of the case. And what stood out the most to me was how difficult it is for any police agency to have to take over a case when it's already started. Yeah, if you catch a case, you want to be the only department that worked the case from the beginning to the end. That way you know how the evidence was managed at the scene. They won't be able to know that. They only know based on what they see now. You want to protect the chain of custody on any items that were found. They can only go based on what was already done. They have to re-canvass and re-ask questions and re-interview and re-interrogate. They're only going now based on what was already done. So, like, all of these factors lead a police officer to say, it's much better when we have the case from the beginning to the end. Something that I never really considered before, how no one likes to do anybody's work after someone else started it, right? You don't want to have to come in and pick up where someone left off. You got to look at where they were. All right, so did you put the cheese on the pizza yet? How much toppings do you have on a pizza? Like, what would you do? So we're talking about a murder investigation. And the other thing that was glaring, and the lieutenant wasn't trying to say it because he's a professional, and I guess he got to work there, and he's part of the blue line. Still got to carry the blue line, but it seemed to me like the Glenn County Sheriff's Department or whoever they were who handled this investigation first did not do a good job. They did not get to the bottom of anything. What it looks like to me is that they let these McMichael folks get away with murder because they didn't want to hurt a fellow officer, a former officer, a friend to the police department, being Gregory McMichael. That's what it seems like to me. And it was something, I saw Sean King, he did a Twitch live stream, where he was going over the facts of the case because he's working directly with Lee Merritt, who's one of the counselors on the case, along with Benjamin Crump. It's something that Sean King said, man, it stuck with me. It caused me to go watch his interview with Ahmaud Arbery's mom. And it's something, man, it really pissed me off, really ticked me off. So 2 things I want you to know about this case. It's background that you won't hear stated very many places. One is, initially they lied to this mom and they told her that your son has been killed in a shootout. He robbed someone's home and the homeowner shot him. Folks, that's what she was told. That her son tried to rob somebody's home and that the homeowner shot him. Now, we know that's nowhere near close to the truth at all. And all I kept thinking was how, hey, if you're the parent of a child, and let's say the child is estranged from the family and the child has had some run-ins with the law, and you think your child is into stuff or into issues and has not hanging with a good crowd or whatever, you might actually believe the police officers and say, oh my God, my child did that? I can't believe it. Oh my God, and just be distraught, depressed, and leave it at that. But luckily, very luckily, Ahmaud's mom didn't do that. She knew her child, and she knew that what they were saying about her child didn't ring true. So that's the first thing. It really pissed me off, guys. I mean, you have no idea. And it's got me just thinking about all the other cases where police officers just tell parents anything. And people go, okay. I don't know. I guess that's right. I mean, the officer said it. The other thing about this story that I find very troubling, but I want to make sure people know is, and my brother, I'll call him Keith. My brother Keith called me up and he said, Tim, check this out. I just saw the footage of Ahmaud Arbery. Man, how'd they get the footage? And why are they talking about prosecuting the person that gave them the footage? And that's the part that is surprising. If you're like me, you probably thought it was a Good Samaritan who filmed this altercation because this altercation, getting that on film, has been everything. It has been everything. I feel like that is the reason why we all know about this case and the reason why charges have been brought, because you can't ignore the film. Well, let me tell you a little bit about the man that filmed that footage. He is not a good Samaritan who was just happened to drive by and see what was going on and wanted to be a good neighborly person to make sure nobody was going to get hurt. No, he is part of the tracking down of Ahmaud Arbery. He is a next-door neighbor of the McMichaels. He was right along with them, tracking down Ahmaud like an animal for a crime they didn't see him commit, that there's no evidence that he committed anything. The only reason why he's driving up late and filming it is because he was slower to get out there. But he's right along with them. He is a part. It's not just two people that chase down Ahmaud. There are three, okay? That's what you need to know. So that third car is a man by the name of Wayne, I think it is, who's tracking down Ahmaud as well. So he's not a good guy. He's a bad guy. And that's why he may be charged as an accessory to the murder. What else? I think that's about it. The other thing is, okay, so how'd they get the film? That's it. How'd they get the film, Tim? If this guy's not a friend, well, it was a man who was working on a case, an attorney for the McMichaels. He saw the film and he turned it over to the police department. This was not done by the McMichaels. This was not done by the lawyer who no longer works for them. Felt encumbered. It was his job. It was his duty as a member of the court to turn over the evidence and to provide it for the prosecution. He had to do it. So that's how they got their hands on the footage. It's not a good Samaritan. In fact, they would probably much more like it if they would have destroyed that film. So that's where we stand now. There's been a number of events and visuals and actions occurring in the area, because today would have been Ahmaud Arbery's 26th birthday. So, not the best. Just horrific. I'm not even going to try to be. There's no way to dress this up, guys. And as I stated before, I'm not excited nor happy about the finally leveling charges against these two men, because let's see what happens. This is just the beginning of a long series of events that must take place if there is to be any type of justice meted out at all. So, this is the first step, but I'm really cautious because I've seen this happen before. One of the things they need to do is move that trial to a place where there's some black people. That's what they need to do. Yeah, because what we think is not what the jury is liable to think. I've heard some stories about that area. They're not good. They're not good stories. All right, so second story, guys. It's your second story. Reade. Tara Reade sits down with Megyn Kelly and she tells her story. Okay? Tara Reade tells her story to Megyn Kelly. That's enough of that. Okay, so look, guys. I reported on this story yesterday. I reported on it to a degree. I think I did a pretty good job of laying out what I believe are the most important points that we had at the time. But now there's a whole full 40-minute interview where you get the whole story of Tara Reade. You learn about about her upbringing. She was born on a farm, 8 acres of land. You learned about her relationships. You learned about her matriculation through positions that she held. You learn about how this event damaged her life, how it impacted her personally on all types of levels. You learned about not just what happened step by step, but how it made her feel. And Megyn Kelly does a good job with this interview of asking good questions, and very interesting. And there's some takeaways from this. The major takeaways are that Tara Reade is a very coherent witness. This is not good for those people who think they can just pan this story. Tara Reade does not seem disheveled. She does not seem scatterbrained. She does not seem the least bit fuzzy. She's very lucid and very sharp. Okay, so anyone who has illusions that this is a woman just bellowing things out, that she doesn't know what she's talking about, you haven't sat down and listened to her talk. Tara Reade seems very intelligent, and she's very much under much control as she speaks. Not easily flustered. All the things they like to discredit women with. She's so emotional. You know, she was a tad bit emotional, but for the most part, she's such a professional. She just breezes through the interview, gives good answers, substantive answers, and it's just straight to the point. So I just want to reiterate how strong a witness she is. Another takeaway from this interview, Tara Reade agreed to do several things that give me the impression that she is very much credible. One of them is she's willing to swear under oath. Everything that she's saying, she's willing to go under oath. The other thing is she's also willing to take a polygraph. She said she doesn't like the idea of the victim having to take a polygraph while the accuser does it. So, but if Joe Biden will take one, sure, she'll take one. They can both do one together, and we can get to the bottom of this. Now, I don't know where you come from. I know where I come from. And where I come from, people who are making up stories don't want to talk about polygraphs. So that helps her credibility as well. Very strong interview, very strong, very detailed analysis, great breakdown. But I do have to say a couple of things, guys. A couple of things I got to say. First of all, because there's been some commotion about why did Tara Reade go on Megyn Kelly's show? Why did she sit down with Megyn Kelly? Why? Well, my first message is to those in corporate media who ask these questions. Where were you? Where were you, corporate media people, when she was telling her story? When she was out here, after she went on the Katie Halper story and the story broke, where were you? Where were the invitations for her to come on your platform, MSNBC? MSNBC waited until they could get word from Joe Biden before they invited Joe Biden gave them the permission to ask him questions. Nobody was running up asking Joe Biden anything. But Tara Reade was willing and able and hoping that she would have a forum to discuss her situation. And they didn't ask her. They didn't talk to her. They did not invite her on. CNN didn't invite her on. CBS didn't invite her on. So she ended up with Katie Halper. Then she ended up on The Rising. She ended up on The Intercept, obviously. This is with Ryan Graham. This is what happened. So you can't come late to the party and say, hey, why didn't you come party with us? Or you can't be upset when you didn't invite her. Hey, you didn't come over to the party. Well, you didn't send me an invitation. What am I supposed to do, just break up in your office and demand that you interview me? You didn't ask. So now that she's went and sat down with Megyn Kelly, now there's an issue. Now you want to make this super political. And another thing, Tara Reade could have went and sat down with Fox News. She chose not to. Now, based on what I've been hearing, Tara Reade did not want to make this overly politicized. She didn't want people to just pan it and say, she liked Trump. That's why she on Fox News. So that's why she went on Fox News. So let's just get rid of it. So she was trying to avoid that. So that's where I stand, and that's what the facts point out based on what I've been able to uncover and what I've been reading, what I've been consuming regarding Tara Reade and her Megyn Kelly appearance. And that's the corporate media and those people who will make allegations that she didn't have a right, that Tara Reade didn't have a right, or she shouldn't have, or some crap that Joan Washington or Tandon and these people, the people on The View or whoever they are, that want to discredit Tara Reade as if she isn't able to go wherever she wants to have this conversation. She would have preferred to go amongst other platforms as well. And she probably still will. Now, the other thing I like to point out, and look, guys, I'm reticent to do this because I really don't want to do this, but I must point this out because this is the Tim Black Show. Some people have covered that Tara Reade went on Megyn Kelly, and they made it seem like Megyn Kelly is a vestige, some type of vestige of ethics and credibility. They portray her as a fighter for women and a defender of all things, and she's a great journalist. And she may be a defender of women, I don't know, and she may be good at her job. She seems competent in talking into a teleprompter, okay? But the bottom line is there are a lot of problems with Megyn Kelly. And I do not like the fact that people are trying to whitewash Megyn Kelly's track record. It's not just that Megyn Kelly has worked for Fox for a long period of time. Yeah, she worked at NBC for like 2 seconds, and she did the best she could do to get thrown off that network. So if you're gonna go on a diatribe about defending Megyn Kelly, let me remind you of who you're throwing under the bus while you defend her. All us black people. Yeah, you're not just throwing liberals under the bus. I could care less if you throw liberals under the bus. I throw liberals under the bus. Megyn Kelly has disrespected, discredited, and treated like dog shit black people from day one. She has weaponized race every step of the way throughout her career, and you give her a pass. You did not even mention you have the audacity not even to mention the rude remarks that she has made that has offended large swaths of the black community, that she did on purpose for ratings. The reason why she had such a problem with Donald Trump, because in a large measure, Megyn Kelly has been Donald Trump. I find it highly dysfunctional for you to pretend that Megyn Kelly is a friend. She is not a friend. Now, she may be a friend to you, and I understand that she is a friend. She is a friend to some of you. Okay? But she's not a friend to us. Now, and I'm not just talking about the Santa is white. I'm talking about the Jesus is white, the Santa is white, and blackface is cool. What about that shit? Now, I don't know what bubble you live in, but that would be something you kind of want to throw in the mix when we talk about the legacy of Megyn Kelly. You might want to talk about her slandering of BLM, her denigrating of racism, denying that racism exists on any level other than superficiality. Megyn Kelly has made it a career. It has been a career builder for her to ignite and gaslight black people for a decade. And when you talk about her and do not speak that very easily researched, very obvious reality, you know what you do? You run the risk of losing your black audience, though it may be tiny and anorexic. You run the risk of losing them. Now, don't call me the bad guy for telling you the truth. The reality is this is her legacy. This is what has brought Megyn Kelly to where she is. For goodness sakes, she had to have an intervention on why it's not cool to wear blackface and why would you defend such nonsense. So, I'm highly disappointed in those people who did that. Those people know who they are, not to start a shootout family feud. Crystal ball. Saga. But I have a problem with it. And you know, the other thing about it, one thing I detest, I really do. See, I'll cover Tara Reade's story. I'm not a white woman, but I'll cover that story. You know why? Because I'm out for justice and peace. I'm out for truth, getting to the truth no matter where it leads us. You got to tell the truth no matter who it offends or who it excites or who it benefits. The truth is the truth. And that's what I would expect of you, to leave your career aspirations, your political affiliations all behind and deal with the thing that it is. I do that with Tara Reade the same way I did with Blasey Ford, the same way I'm doing now with Megyn Kelly. I can say she did a good job of interviewing Tara Reade. It was a very informative interview, but at the same time, I could point out how she treated D.L. Hughley when he came up on the show. I can talk about how she treated the Black Panthers when she had them on her show. And I could talk about all the other iterations of her depravity or her lack of ability to put herself in other people's shoes and be a human being without being a gaslighting son of a you-know-what. So, I'm disappointed, emphatically disappointed. And on the same token, I can still point out that you've done good work. I enjoy your monologues, but the next time you do a monologue and you gloss over the background of someone as despicable, spottily despicable, obviously flawed, the least you could do is call it out, or you should end your dialogue. And that's what's on my radar. Maybe now you'll stop being on ours. And I don't need a teleprompter, dog. All right, now we can go to phone calls. But first, we're going to go to a commercial. Be right back. If you want political, Bernie, progressive, you need to come to my channel today, subscribe, and you will get that. I'm Tim Black. I support you. I got your back. We are the voice of the people. Feel the burn. See you there. Johnson. My guest today, Dr. Cornel West. Thank you, Mr. West, for being here.
My brother, I'm just so blessed to be in conversation with you. I want to salute you. You are a force for good in a mighty way, my brother. You remind me of William Monroe Trotter, that great black radical cutting against the grain, telling the truth, seeking justice, willing to get in trouble, be in the middle of controversy, but always grounded in quest for truth and justice, man. So I salute you, man.
Thank you, Dr. West. By popular demand, Johnson is here. I have new Johnson designs in my shop. If you want to pick them up, check them out. They are hilarious, they are revolutionary, and they're all Johnson. You're going to love them, man. Check them out. Both parties suck, Johnson. It's one of my favorites. Independent media only, Johnson. Keep it real. We are all Johnson. We are. We're one big community, guys. Go check it out. Independent media only. Johnson's in the house. Both parties suck, Johnson. We are here. They got a special going on right now. Free shipping. Get it today. Wolfpack. All right. Now, Lord. Okay. Before I get started tonight, I want to bring your attention to this. I got on my Dump Trump shirt, right? It's a new shirt, just got it today. I was like, man, I'll be able to rock this on Freedom Friday. And I'm rocking at the same time. Notice, catch the swag. Dump Trump and no Joe. It is possible. You can choose not to like either one of these people. You can choose not to trust either one of them. Right? Just want to let people know, like, you can't do it, okay? It can be done, Johnson. They both are horrible. And you can hold both thoughts in your head at once. Doesn't mean you're a Trump supporter because you say no Joe. And just because you say no Joe, yeah, the other way. Just because you say dump Trump doesn't mean you like Joe either. Yeah, that way. You know what I'm talking about. You get it. All right. So now, all right, I'm going to try to take calls in order in which they come in, guys. My first call is the 423 number. 423, you live, Freedom Friday. What's your name? What's your comment?
Hey, Tim Black. It's Nikki from Ohio again.
Hey, Nikki, what's up?
How you doing tonight?
I'm good. Talk to me.
You looking good.
Thank you.
Sure, I like the new shirt. I'm about to order my Both Parties Suck Johnson shirt now because of the joke.
I got that one too.
So
I just decided to go with this one.
I'm going to be ordering
that. Yes, thank you.
But listen, Tim Black. Who robs a house in broad daylight on a Sunday afternoon? You know, I mean, come on. That is the dumbest story them hillbillies can ever come up with. And do they have proof that there were robberies in the area reported?
I have no idea.
Has anybody heard anything about that? Not me either.
Not me either.
You know, that's something that I'd be interested in knowing. And they better make sure they charge good old boy Wayne for that video, because this was premeditated, and he's a damn accessory. So, like you said, he ain't no good person either. You know, and I just, my heart feels so broken for that mother today. It's her baby's birthday, you know, and I can't imagine what she's going through. You know, I give all my good vibes to her. But, okay, I'm going to keep it short. I got one request out of you, though, for me, Tim. Sunday, actually, is World Lupus Day. But I'm asking all my progressive hosts if they would please wear purple on Monday. in support of lupus awareness. And I didn't know if you got my tweet, so I figured I'd call in and ask.
I'm glad you called in because I happen to have a lot of purple. Yeah, I'll wear purple for you. Well, for the cause, yes.
Thank you. I'd appreciate it.
Absolutely, sister.
And just give out a shout out on Monday while you're wearing it. That would be great.
I'm with it.
All right. Well, you have a great weekend, Tim. I'm going to let you get to the other callers.
You got it, Nikki. Thanks
you
for
and
calling
Mrs.
up.
Black have a nice one.
You know it. You too, sister. You too. Oh, yeah, by the way, guys, Nikki, so Lupus Day, World Lupus Day on Monday, Sunday, Mother's Day, right? With the quarantine and the stay in place, it's crazy. I think I'm just going to try to cook up the house. You know, I'm trying to make a. She's probably watching this right now. Oh, let me keep it moving. Tomorrow, I'm doing a special live stream with one Ida Rodriguez. Ida Rodriguez is an amazing powerhouse. You see it on TYT. Recently produced a Netflix special, was in a Netflix special, comedy special, great comedian, also a great progressive, a firebrand. And we've been talking, and we're going to just get together and talk about a couple of things at the moment, some issues that are happening in the news. So we get together and see what we can do. So tomorrow at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 2 p.m. Cali time. Pacific? Yeah, Pacific. Okay. Shout out to Ida. She's doing big things, man. She's amazing. She really is. 916. You're live on Freedom Friday. What's your name? What's your comment? Hello.
Oh, Tim, hey, this is Patrick in California.
Hey, Pat, what's up, man? Talk to
How
me.
you doing, Tim?
I'm good, brother.
Been a while before I come out. I didn't know it was going to be number 2, but just want to say, appreciate you for putting on the Tim Black Show and always preaching what's going on in the community. Always looking out. I'm happy to see that they're making progress with this case, but it is, it's a sad story that a lot of us do perish at the hands of it. It's covered up a lot. We know what happens in America, and America's story is the Black story isn't told of America's story. But just want to say I appreciate you having Nina Turner. That was a real refreshment for my soul to hear Sister Nina Turner. Whenever I feel low, like, it ain't happening, it ain't worth it, it's over, giving up. Hearing Nina, hearing her speak, hearing her calls, rejuvenates me. I feel like, one stone can make a ripple, and that ripple can become a wave eventually. Just because the tsunami didn't crash on their shores today don't mean, we give up. So just want to call in and say thank you, Tim, for the work you do, and appreciate you, and let you get to other callers.
Hey, man, thank you, brother. Good to hear from you, Pat. And I appreciate it, man. And be safe, man. Be safe, man. Hey, look, guys, don't slack up on that COVID-19. It's still getting folks, man. I know it's crazy, right, that this is some good people, man, have succumbed, and I just want to remind everyone. I usually start every show with that acknowledgement, but I just want to remind you. So I love you. Be safe. 978, you're live. Freedom Friday. What's your name? What's your comment?
Hi, Tim. It's Rebecca Lane calling. How are you doing?
Hey, Rebecca. How you doing? I saw your shirt, Rebecca. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. It's a good shirt. I look good in pink, so
yes,
I was happy to do it. Thanks. I don't really have a lot. I was not expecting to be third, but I did want to talk about on Cinco de Mayo. I went because you just said it. Don't ease up on the COVID. People are easing up on the COVID, Tim. Yeah. People on the south side of Lansing, I'm calling all y'all out for not caring about the COVID. I went to go get tacos, and they have got this liquor store with a super authentic, great taco shop right inside the door. And it's really a small space, kind of, and you go in, you order your tacos, usually takes 5 minutes, and you leave. And they were really busy, obviously. So, I'm in, wrapped head to toe, mask, gloves, the whole bit, hoodie, everything. And I go in for tacos, and people are, shoulder to shoulder, 7 or 8 of them. And nobody has a mask, and nobody has a glove, and nobody cares. It's okay. And then no one wanted to wait outside. It was you guys are crazy. And then I went back in to get my tacos, and then this lady kind of approached, and I was like, ma'am, please, just give me a couple feet, okay? I'm just going to pay and leave, okay? And then the big chorus of people ripped me apart. because I cared about personal protection. And oh my God, it was so awful. And I tried really hard not to engage. And I was like, I really hope all y'all don't get sick. And then I left. And anyway, it was a lot. I was just happy to go home and have margaritas and tacos. But I practically wanted to shower after that. Yeah. And people out here on this side of town, in this area, they're not taking it seriously. And if you think about all the, deaths that are happening and the cases in Detroit, I mean, that's like an hour and a half wait. Like, you're not thinking about that? You guys don't care about that? Don't think that's real? Okay, cool. Anyway, that's all I had. And have a great weekend. And thank you again for your great show.
Hey, but thank you, Rebecca. Look, sister, you take care of you. I mean, that's unfortunate. People not taking it serious as if this is a joke. It's not a joke. It's like some people, I don't know what it is. I think they're waiting for it to be them or waiting for it to be someone they really love that they may have given it to, for them to actually say, you know what, hey, I'm serious. I mean, some people, I don't know what's going on with them. I do not understand it at all. I'm so concerned. I mean, about my family, about my friends, about my neighbors. I'm really concerned. And, my brothers will tell you, man, I call them every few days just to check in. That's what we do. I got a live stream with my mom scheduled for tomorrow. I mean, we just I talk to her and then we do FaceTimes. I mean, we always remind each other to keep on, to wipe down everything you bring in your house and to keep doing this stuff because this is serious business, man. Serious business. And if you have people that won't listen, just get them the hell away from you. Just run. Leave them damn tacos. If I'd have been there, they would have all been in there and I didn't have masks on, or they didn't have masks on, I don't know if I'd have done it. I don't know. And you know what I saw? I saw a man I saw a man with the mask. He didn't have a mask on right. He had his nose out. I'm like, and then he had the other string that should go around your head. He had that dangling, so he didn't even have the gap here really closed because he didn't have the string around. So obviously no one told him how to put on the mask. And I'm like, bruh. You know what I'm saying? Like, bruh, come on, man. Dude, you have a computer in your hand. Your smartphone is a computer. Back in the 80s, your smartphone has more computing power than the computer in the 80s and the 90s, and I dare say the early 2000s. Right here in your hand. And you can't look up how to wear a mask? How disengaged are you from reality? That you were walking by people with masks on appropriately and you don't think, hey, they're wearing theirs different. Hey, that guy's got his nose covered. Hey, this guy, his strap's not dangling, hitting him in the throat. It's around his head. Maybe I should put mine on the right damn way. Look, I'm not gonna wish death or sickness or anything on anyone. I never would do that. But maybe something could happen to scare some of these people straight. When I was a kid, there was a show called Scared Straight to try to get badass juveniles to learn they can't go to jail. Maybe you should COVID straight. Scared COVID straight. You know? Have them get the flu and it not be COVID, but it just be like the flu. They'd be like, oh man, I think I got the COVID. But it really be the flu. Give them like 24 hours. Have them calling up family and friends like, I think I got it. And then for it to, then go away and they wake up, they're like, I'm going to do right. Baby, I'm going to wear my mask now. I'm going to be better. All right, I'm going to go to the next call, y'all. 252, you live, Freedom Friday. What's your name? What's your comment?
Hi, this is Kira from Fayetteville, North Carolina. How y'all doing, Wolfpack?
Yes, it is. What's up, Kira? How you feeling, sister? You all right?
I'm all right. I'm good. I worked today, and I'm winding down, but I'm doing great. But as far as what you were saying about the mask, yeah, I went to a warehouse today, and the man, I guess the company he worked for, they gave him those N95 masks, and he didn't even have the shit on properly. I was like, you do know that you do got a string dangling that's supposed to be attached to the back of your head, right? And he was just like, oh, no, it's okay. And I'm just like, no, it ain't okay, but you get on away from me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't nobody got time for that. I'm happy because, as a truck driver, I've been out here and they haven't been any like hand sanitizer or like masks that you can buy. And now you're starting to see them creep up into the truck stops and stuff for safety because it's starting to affect truckers. And I wanted to talk about two things that grinded my gears this week. The first one is these faux progressives. You covered the story about the Justice Democrats and the Super PAC. Do you know that you got these nuts on Twitter, just talking about, oh, it's not really a Super PAC? Well, what the fuck is it, bruh? I mean, what is it? I thought that's what it was. I read it, and it's a Super PAC. I mean, I don't know what other, and, it kind of makes me wonder because, you haven't heard a word from these Justice Democrats. You haven't heard anything from these people that's so progressive and are supposed to stand by this. The biggest problem in our system is the money in politics. This is a big issue. And you actually got faux progressives, YouTubers. I know you a regular, but a lot of these people, they got like huge followings. Why would you I just feel like it's a hindrance to the progressive movement because the number one issue is getting money out of politics because it affects every single arena of our lives. It affects it's the whole reason why Congress won't do shit for us. Yeah. Like right now, people are literally sitting around waiting for another round of stimulus checks, and I tell everybody that I know, I said, do not expect anything more. Don't expect anything more. Be glad with what you got because they didn't want to give us that, Yeah. And I didn't receive one, but and I'm not going to. But it's just the point that you made all of these restrictions on tax money that we paid, because we pay 60% of the taxes that are taken in. We pay the majority, and it's really ridiculous that they sit here and want to shortchange us and then give $6 trillion to corporations that don't even fucking pay taxes. The shit is comical. And then the second thing that I saw is, you got these huge celebrities, they out here, they're talking about, oh, we're going to do some telethons. And we're going to do some phone baking to try to get some money and raise some money from COVID-19. And I'm just like, why the hell y'all just don't open y'all purse and give out the damn money? I mean, if you get $10 from 10 people, that's $1,000. You could have just gave that damn money, and been done with it. I don't get what the hell they want from us in the middle of a pandemic. You want people to give your damn money to you to help people that you can freely help. Without, it even hurting you. And it doesn't make any sense. But, I looked into, because Oprah is doing, these telethons. And I looked into, the association that they're using, as the avenue. And, the same association that they're using are the ones that the bundlers use for the political action committees and to raise money for certain political opponents during the primary. I'm like, man, this shit is trash. It don't make no damn sense that these same people that are literally taking money and putting it together to stifle what we were trying to do as far as the direction we wanted to move the country in. This is how they did it. They did it through money to dissuade the Pete Buttigieg, who came out as a quote-unquote young Sanders in the beginning and turned into a whole young Barack Obama. The switch was real. And I think that if we have to be very mindful and watch when things like this is taking place and see how it's being used against us, the public. You sitting here, you thinking that you're doing something for a good cause, but these are the same people that sold us up the damn creek. And I just wanted to, give some motivation out there and call out some of the bullshit that's going on in the world. And thank y'all for letting me, vent my frustrations and whatnot. And y'all have a good one.
Thank you, Kira. Appreciate you calling up, and you be safe out there. I'm glad they're glad they're going to that they've been putting the sanitizer at the truck stops. I'm gonna tell you, man, the only reason why I have sanitizer is because a Wolfpack member sent me some glycerin and some alcohol. That's why I got some. I had to make my own, and if it wasn't for this Wolfpack supporter, this Wolfpack member doing that for me, I wouldn't have had any hand sanitizer because we were late to the game on hand sanitizer. It was sold out everywhere where I live, everywhere that I went. So, and I haven't been checking to see if it's back lately. But that's the reason why I have some. because I looked up how to make it after this sent me the ingredients. Tough, man. Tough. 304. Oh, by the way, I don't know who was given a pass on the dark money. But I remember back a couple years ago, back in 2016, 2015, when I used to bring candidates on, and I got a candidate coming on Wednesday, Michaela Wilkes, here in Maryland. She's running for Congress. Michaela, and I don't know if that's going to be live or not, but that's when the interview is going to take place. One of the only questions I would ask him, Kira, when I used to bring candidates on every week, was, are you supporting getting money out of politics? That would be my first question. That was even before Medicare for All. Medicare for All was a great idea, and I supported it, but I feel like money in politics in 2015, that was the thing that I already knew before I knew much about Bernie. I already, I hadn't even fathomed that we could get universal health care, but I knew we needed money out of politics. That's something that's, I don't care where you come from. That's something that you can hold your hat on. I don't care what side of the political divide you fall on. And to me, I agree with you. If all our politicians are spending 80% of their time, 70% of their time dialing for dollars and not actually create legislation, what kind of politicians do we have? And that's because of the system where money's everything. Money's everything to get elected. The moment you get in, you're working on your re-election budget. And so we got to get money out of politics. We got to get rid of the lobbyists. And maybe I feel it more because I'm in D.C., and I've been around lobbyists, and I've seen the big money people and all this stuff. And everybody throw a rock, you hit a lobbyist here in this area. But I swear, man, I agree with you 100% about the damage that money in politics does and how that's the starting point in my book. Not everybody is as privy or up-to-date or knowledgeable about foreign affairs, but everybody knows how money has a corrupting influence. I don't care who you are. And anybody who says money doesn't have a corrupting influence on politics and everything else, that person's somebody you'll need to listen to. So thank you, Kara, for that. I appreciate you. 304, you're live on Freedom Friday. What's your name? What's your comment?
Hey, Tim. Trevor from West Virginia. Well, first of all, I got a comment and a question for you. First of all, I wanted to say, I'm real disappointed in Richard Ojeda for being a sellout, really.
Hold on. Trevor, hold on a second, brother. I want to first just stop you and say thank you for bringing this up. This is something I meant to talk about. I'm a big-time Paula Swearingen supporter. I think she's the best thing for West Virginia, and I've been that way since 2015 when I met her and interviewed her. And Richard Ojeda, I agree with you 100% now. With that being said, go ahead, brother. Start over, but thank you for calling up about that issue. I appreciate it.
No problem, Tim. Thank you. Like I was saying, I think he's a sellout. I kind of had my suspicions beforehand. I appreciated, the fighter mentality and the fighter nature that he brought to it, and he did some good things in the state Senate. But he dropped his state Senate seat to run for president, which was questionable at best.
Right.
And now he's running in a primary against Paula Jean, and he's just like a T-rump meme and boomer liberal at this point, honestly, without any policy. And it really kind of pisses me off because it's hard to get somebody like that, like Paula Jean in West Virginia, So I thought possibly we could have had somebody else fighting for us, but real unfortunate. But secondly, I just wanted to say my question for you. I first found out about you when I was looking at Kyle Kalinski's panel at Politicon last fall. And obviously, it's not real easy, to find new voices and independent media, especially left-wing independent media. So what's your advice on how, we can all, aside from just word of mouth and, social media sharing, how can we get the word out and how can we let, everybody know about our causes and our voices and our media?
Wow, brother. Well, Trevor, man, once again, I'm try to think how I answer that question by thinking, first of all, thank you for asking it. And you're right, it is difficult. The landscape. How do you go about getting the word out about independent media, about our causes? You're doing what you're doing right now, man. You're engaged. I think there's a couple things that have to happen. We have to modify our approach to media. Look, it's not rocket science. When you have a call-in show, everyone who calls into the show becomes a steward of the show. They have ownership of the show. They have a part in the show. I think that's a formula that's been tested and has been working in America, at least in American media, for the last 150 years or so, since the invention of the advent of the telephone. So there's a reason why, because it works. It makes people feel a sense of community. And they're going to tell people about the show. You don't think Kira's going to let people know that she was on this show where she put their foot in it? You don't think Trevor's going to let somebody know, hey, I asked this question on the Tim Black Show? So on our side, media side, we can switch up the way that we deliver media. The other thing is, gosh, guys, I think we just have to be more creative in the way that we share stuff. Okay, so I have buttons, I have T-shirts. I even gave away buttons. That cost me. I don't make a lot of money doing this, but I know it creates camaraderie, and it also gets the word out about the show, and it's another way to promote what we're doing. So if you give people the tools, they'll promote for you. And I think if as a viewer or a person who's consuming the content, just tell people about it. You are a marketer yourself. I mean, when you put something on your profile, you're marketing. You're making brand awareness. You are doing the job of sharing the show, whoever show it is. So that's important. And I think those two things. And I don't know. People need to go to more events. And by the way, that was not Kyle Kalinski's panel. That was Politicon's panel. Kyle did not get me on that panel. I got me on that panel. Because I talked to Politicon. Like, hey, when y'all going to have me on Politicon? And now I've been on Politicon. So, yeah. And, yeah. Anyway, no knock to Kyle, but he didn't hook me up. All right? All right. Now, 360, where'd you go? 360? 360 left? 304. Okay, 219. 219, you're live, Freedom Friday. What's your name? What's your comment?
Oh, it's Reverend Marie. How you doing, Tim?
Hey, Reverend Marie, how are you?
I'm doing fine. Got my stimulus check, so did some stimulating, if you know what I mean. So anyhow, it's been there's just so many things to talk about, and I'm very glad I got early, because if I sit and listen to your show for too long, I forget why I called in, and I get so obsessed with other things. What you just said is perfect. We all know how the media misreports, lies, whatever word you want to call it, no matter what side you're on. We all know they are not reporting facts. Yet for some reason, when it comes to other things, we just, boom, automatically retweet things. And it's like, we need to think more critically, and just don't retweet everything that we see. And just because we may like the headline, don't just retweet it, because it may not have those facts that we love that we get here. And I think what we need to do is to promote independent media, promote those that we know. I do have an idea to pitch for you, but I will send that to you separately. But I found I really got into Bernie and found out so much more about Bernie 4 years ago through you and through Ed Schultz and through the people that we had, and then listening more. That's where some people don't hear it from. And if we don't promote it, no one's going to hear about it. No one's going to hear about it. And that's, I think that's really a shame. There's so much more to some of these stories. And, first of all, with the White House, so Pence's press secretary tested positive for COVID. Her husband, aside from being a white supremacist, is Trump's senior advisor. Let's see, who else? Ivanka's personal assistant tested positive for COVID. There's 12 Secret Service agents who are tested positive for COVID, and 60 some are in quarantine. And they're still not wearing masks or gloves and still doing whatever they want to. So, that's one thing. Here in beautiful Indiana, Pence was here last week. I am so glad other people were around him, and maybe they'll get tested, maybe they won't. I don't know. Our governor is reopening the state because everything's about the economy, not the humanity. Our numbers are going up. We are like 11th our state's like 11th highest for deaths per capita. and our governor gets on there and says, the numbers are going down, and we're like, we don't know what you're looking at. Population numbers are going down because everybody's dying, but and so it's just really sad. And I agree with you about the COVID straight, scared COVID straight, because it wasn't a preacher, it was an Ohio legislator who said he's not wearing a mask because we see God in each other's face. Okay. You know what? You see God in each other's face. I want to take him to the faces I see. I want to take him to those people that are dying. I want to take him to the families I've consoled. I want to take him there. You want to see the face? You want to see a face? Here's a face. Put on your goddamn mask. Use the brains that God gave you. And if you're going to try to quote scripture, even the Old Testament, God hid his face, and go back to that chapter and read that. Oh, my Lord, people soundbiting scripture. I swear to Jesus. But not Jesus, whoever. I'm very glad you took my call. I love you, Tim. Just keep doing what you're doing. And I'm out.
Well, thank you, Rev Marie. I appreciate you, and I agree with you as well. Like, don't taunt God, right? Don't play games with God up there, using God's name up there. That guy's taunting God. Like, well, I see God in your face. Like, oh, well, God wouldn't want you to do anything to like put him to the test. Who are you? There's a saying now. I don't know if it's Muslim or Christian or whatever, but I love it. It says, "Believe in God, but tie your donkey anyway." Take that how you want to take it. 845, you're live, Freedom Friday. What's your name? What's your comment?
Hey, it's Khadijah. Hey, Tim.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm good. I just had a kind of question / comment about the whole Tara Reade thing. I'm in a group called Riding with Biden, and I understand where they're coming from because it was so long ago, and she didn't really speak out before with the same story. And we definitely don't want Trump a second term.
Okay.
But then I do believe in women's rights, and if a woman does have the courage to finally say something, we should believe her.
Yes.
And it was 2013, right?
No, 1993.
1993. It was a different time back then. Not to say that rape was okay, but it was just the Me Too movement was around. Men didn't know as much.
Are you trolling this show?
As they do.
Who is this?
Huh?
Who is this?
No, I'm saying it was wrong, but it was
your...
a different time. Maybe. Hello?
What is your name?
This is Kay.
You sound like you playing joke. You gotta be joking. It's never been okay to somebody to touch you.
No, I'm not saying it was okay. I'm not saying it was okay.
Right.
I'm saying it was slightly a different time.
Oh my goodness, sister.
Meaning definitely nothing like that would be allowed. We definitely all know better. But back then a lot more stuff you got away with stuff. I think something did happen.
Well,
but I don't. Okay. Yeah, something happened, but I don't know exactly.
Yeah, you don't know. We weren't there, so you don't know exactly what happened.
Because they used to back then. They used to grab their secretaries in a playful way. Now we definitely know better. I know it's wrong. It's always been wrong. I do feel it was wrong.
Right.
And something happened, but I just don't know.
Right.
I don't know. It's kind of it's like what side? I definitely don't want Trump second term. I mean, does Bernie still have a chance? I don't know.
Well,
that was my first pick.
I hear you. I hear you. It's not so much about who's going to be next or what happened. It's just about getting to the truth, sister. That's all. And we worry about what's going to happen or how it's going to shake out later. You don't let that be the guiding reason why you want the truth. We don't want it to be about who's going to get the nomination. It's about truth and justice. Understand? That makes sense?
I got you. Thank you for the opportunity.
Sure. Jesus, man, I'm glad a woman called up with some crazy comment like that, sister. Boy, a brother would be in trouble. You know what she said he did? He didn't just make a crude joke. He put his hands in her body, inside her body. You would probably break a guy's arm and rip it off his shoulders and beat him to death with it if he did that to you. What are you talking about? You setting women back 100 years. Watch it now. Now, like, you know, your brother Tim Black got some age on him, but I was around in the 90s. We ain't do that. That ain't regular. That is power. That is a person. Rape is power. Exerting someone's power over someone else who they feel is weak. It ain't even about sex or looks or people with crazy stuff. Well, what were you wearing? That's not what that's about. It's about, I can do what I want to do with you. You ain't nothing. You know? You get out of here. Yeah. That's that type of attitude. That's sick. And remember, Anita Hill, what was it, 91 with Anita Hill, right? No wonder why he gave Clarence Thomas a pass. It was all nice, kissing Clarence Thomas' ass up on the stand and crucified Anita Hill. Look at him. Look how he was rolling. So, at the end of the day, he has to be honest. He has to be honest and say, hey, this is the deal. Now, he said he's being honest now. I don't think he is because there's too much corroborating evidence. There's her mother who called into the Larry King show back in 1993 and talked about her daughter on air. There's film of that. Maybe the reason why Tara Reade didn't tell everyone and go to the police like her mother wanted her to back in 93 is because she was thinking like you're talking. That's a mistake. But at the end of the day, that doesn't change what he did. If he did it. And if it was me, I want to be able to defend myself, not hide behind people. I would want to defend myself. Well, put me up here in front of him there. Hell, put me up. Let's polygraph it there. I want to clear my name. I want people thinking I did something I didn't do. So that's why it's also got me thinking maybe because I would be out front like, I did what? Oh, come on, put it on me right now. Come on. Let's sit down, sister. Because we're going to go ahead and polygraph now, this second. I want the tapes rolling. He would be elected if he did that. He could lean in. This could be a good thing for him. He gets accused of something he said he didn't do. He's exonerated. Now he can play victim. Oh, come on, malarkey. You know, he could do that and point at the camera and get loud and stuff. Do that fake smile. Do that thing that people like that he does. So it's all on how you look at it. I'm not saying Trump's better. But what I'm saying is he ain't that much worse, at least when it comes to women, if this is true. All right. 808. 808, you're live on Freedom Friday. What's your name? What's your comment?
Aloha, this is Fifi calling you from Maui.
All right. Oh, wow. How you doing, Fifi? Good to have you. What's up?
Well, I'm sitting on the most beautiful rock in the world, so I'm feeling pretty blessed. I'm glad we're talking about Tara Reade because here's my thoughts. Where is Gayle King?
Woo.
Where is Gayle King? Why wasn't she going after that interview? Why did they give it to Megyn Kelly? I mean, this is a bombshell, what came out today because her ex-husband who filed for divorce put in the report that she had some type of traumatic incident in Joe Biden's campaign and that affected their divorce. Why wasn't Gayle King jumping on this?
Big deal.
I mean, she didn't have any problem going after, an abuser of Kobe that was, thrown out of court after he died, bringing that up. I just don't understand, and then Dianne Feinstein's coming out today and all of these women setting the women's movement back 500 years. It's disgusting. It's the height of hypocrisy is what it is. It really is. And the Me Too movement, shame on them. Shame on them, all of them. So that's my feeling.
Well, thank you, Fifi, for your comment, and thank you for reminding me. There's so many great evidence in this story and great points to bring out about Tara Reade. I covered that yesterday. I covered yesterday about the divorce filing. That's a public record. It's a legal document. That back in 1993, her husband and her, so for those that don't know, she was going through a divorce with her husband. She was getting a separation agreement. And the husband was arguing his side of the case because she wanted a protective order. And he's like, she's exaggerating. I'm not a bad guy. You know, my wife has problems. She's always had problems. When I first met her, she told me she had this traumatic incident at the Senate office where she worked. It's these problems that she have, and not just me. This from her. It's from that trauma that she experienced at that work site. So he didn't say Joe Biden, but he alluded to it. For those people that say that Tara sounds like she's full of it, there's a lot of evidence. There's a mountain more evidence in this than there was in Blasey Ford, and you were riding for it. There's a mountain worth of evidence compared to this and Al Franken, and you were riding for that. So there is really, there is really no ground to stand on for you to just dismiss out of hand. Well, she didn't say everything. Well, maybe she was scared. Maybe she was hoping to keep her job. Maybe she just wanted to keep her job and tell on him, but keep her job at the same time and just hopefully be in another office. Instead, they blackballed her and got her the hell off the hill. You don't think that happens? That happens all the time. Women or men, anyone who makes complaints and people say, uh-oh, this person's bad for business. This person's a bad seed. This person's the troublemaker. You get that label and you are out. And that happens. To this day, I've worked in D.C. my whole life, okay? In Fortune 100 companies. This is my second career, okay? And I'm telling you, you get a bad reputation, you are dust. You are gone. And I'm not talking about powerful people. I'm talking about working people, the workers, like her. She was like supervising the interns. Easily replaceable position. So anyway, thank you, Fifi. Sitting on the most beautiful rock in the world. Thank you for sharing that fact. I meant to point that out. Okay. 561, you're live. Freedom Friday. What's your name? What's your comment?
What's happening, Tim Black?
Hey, what's up,
My
Dave?
name's Ty Savage.
This is Ty.
My name is Ty Savage.
Ty, what's up, man? What's up?
I just had a couple of things here. The Tara Reade, I hope that we don't see her somewhere with an interviewer asking her about what it does for the election of Donald Trump, her and these allegations. I mean, the guy that says grab him by the pussy isn't any worse than the guy that grabs him by the pussy. I mean, when they're the same, it's like we're choosing between two of the same people. I don't even see a whole lot of difference between the two candidates. So, I hope she gets more respect going forward. I don't know what happened there. I tend to believe what Tara Reade is saying just because of all the evidence and video we have of Joe doing creepy stuff. I love the Dump Trump T-shirt, by the way. I'm going to have to get me one of those.
Thank you, brother.
I want to say some stuff about the COVID, and I want to speak about it very carefully because I don't want anybody to think I'm saying it's fake or downplay the seriousness of the situation. But depending on which channel you flip on, there's two sets of facts. There's different numbers depending on what you watch. So a lot of people just don't believe anything any of the news has to say. And that's not them being stupid. That's them learning from years of watching the news that they can't believe it. So now when this is out there, something this serious, you don't really know what to believe. And if you're not in New York, like I'm in Palm Beach County, so I've anticipated this whole time seeing a surge of cases here in Palm Beach County because I'm right next to Fort Lauderdale, where there's a giant number of cases, which is right next to Miami. It's got the largest number of cases down here in Florida. So we go on the lockdown, but the lockdown, I'm a locksmith, so I'm out on the road every day. The lockdown, the first week, maybe, the traffic was light. It was kind of barren out there. But since then, traffic's been heavy. People have been out working, out doing stuff. They say that the economy's turned off, but there's a lot of people out there working down here. And the restaurants are closed and the bars are closed, but there's a lot of stuff happening. So I wonder why we didn't get a larger number of cases in my county. So that also makes me think that if you're in New York City, you might or definitely need to be taking it more seriously than if you're in a rural part of the country. And, not everybody can get masks. I went to stop to get some masks. They were $75 for a box of 50. So I don't think that it serves anybody any good to call non-believers of this thing just dumb. I think it's a conversation that needs to be had. That being said, I have masks and I have hand sanitizer and I do take my precautions. But I think that maybe this is it's being spoken of in terms of black and white, and maybe we should talk about ways that the people that need to be most concerned stay most concerned and not let the two completely different sets of facts just turn somebody off completely that should be concerned. And then the last thing I want to say is the police in Georgia. The police in Georgia are terrible. It's a common thing down here. You tell somebody you're going on a trip, taking a drive, they tell you, don't drive through Georgia if you're black. Don't do it. I've been arrested twice in Georgia, and I don't live in Georgia. I haven't lived in Georgia since I was 7 years old. But, I'm dark-skinned. I go through there. I get pulled over. I got pulled over for no reason at all going through Georgia, and I don't even stop. It's like I can't even pass through without getting profiled and pulled over. So the police in Georgia are bad. I mean, people that live there definitely know how careful they got to be. Anybody that's planning on even driving through, slow down, go 5 under, make sure your headlights are on, everything. Even if it's daytime and it looks like the sun might be going behind a cloud, turn your headlights on because they're going to find a reason to pull you over. I got pulled over in Georgia last time, and I look behind me, and it's the biggest Trump billboard I've ever seen, and I just know it's going to be bad. And I didn't get beat up, I didn't get killed, but definitely got arrested, detained. I went through a lot that I shouldn't have had to, and the police, the justice system in the whole country sucks, and it's very bad in Georgia from experience. And I hope my COVID stuff wasn't too conspiratorial. And thanks for letting me have my time and my voice. I appreciate it.
No problem, Ty. Yeah, man. I've done a couple videos on the topic because I don't want to seem like I don't understand that there can be varying degrees of what people are dealing with and what different vantage points. Like, okay, first of all, it's offensive to a lot of people, right, who have lost friends or family. They have people saying, I want to get my hair done. I mean, those people are stupid. I'm sorry, Johnson. I want to get my hair done. Like, that's like, okay. So that bothers people on the one side. But then I realize there are other people who are like, look, they got a small business, they got family to feed, they got bills to pay, and they're willing to take the risk because what other choice do they really have? I'm cognizant of both extremes, okay? What they're really dealing with. I'm fortunate enough that my job is I'm still doing what I've been doing. I never missed a beat. It's of course things are slower, money's cut, but I can still function. I never had to leave. So I can't speak from a person who's going through what some other people are going through. But also, no, man, Ty, man, I get you about the news and different channels. One of my brothers totally believes it because people on this job caught it. He drives a bus. My other brother, he believes it, but he also don't believe the news at all. And he don't believe anything he sees on the news. So I understand exactly what you're talking about. Both my brothers are black, and they both have different, varying views of the news. You feel what I'm saying? But I will say, man, it depends on where you are. And it depends on if they're testing. Remember, guys, there's so many cases in New York because they're testing. I don't even know where to test here in Maryland. If they're not testing in your small town, how would you know really what the numbers are like? Remember, not everybody who catches this thing succumbs to it. So, I mean, I remember there was a point where I wasn't sure if we had it in my household because people were getting sick. My wife got sick. 2 of the kids got sick. I didn't get sick. And I was like, what everybody doing sick? Uh-oh. And then the next day or two, they were all better. And I was like, was that COVID? I have no idea. We didn't get tested, bro. But we stayed in place, and we've been in place for over 2 months now. So, look, brother, I feel you. Almost 2 months. I feel you, brother. Now on to Georgia. Thank you for giving us some information about Georgia. I don't think I've been to Georgia. North Carolina, South Carolina, Tennessee, no Georgia. Interesting. Hey. That's it. That's enough, I guess, enough to comment on. But thank you for your perspective, brother. I appreciate us having different people from across the country call up with their point of view. You know? Appreciate it. And the guy says you sound like I thought you were Dave because he's from Stone Mountain. So I noticed a little bit of the accent. 214, you're live on Freedom Friday. What's your name? What's your comment?
Hi, my name is Xavier. I'm from Texas, living in Boston right now. This is less of a question and more of a comment, but I just kind of want to speak to the disillusion that I kind of have been feeling with the Democratic Party. I used to be like a hardcore Democrat, black male, so it kind of comes with the skin tone. But with this last election cycle, I've kind of have learned that both parties are kind of full of shit. They don't really care about me. And it's been, very, very disappointing, watching how this election cycle has kind of been going and, thinking that the Democratic Party is for the working people and for the disenfranchised, and then seeing them, prove to me that, no, we're not, we're for the power to elite. We just have a D in front of our names. And it's, it's been very, very disappointing, especially like with a lot of the whole Reade accusations. And watching the Democratic Party used to pretend that they were like, believe women, yada, yada, yada. But then when this woman is accusing our guy, even though she's, has more credible proof than Christine Blasey Ford had, but with Christine Blasey Ford, the Democratic Party was just like, believe all women, we have to. But then when it's Tara Reade, it's like, nah, Russian ass said her father was an author, so clearly she's lying. And it's been very, very disappointing, and a lot of the politicians and a lot of people in my life who I've respected and kind of seeing their hypocrisy with kind of dealing with this new information that's been coming out is very telling, and like at this point, I'm like, fuck Trump, fuck Biden. They're both terrible. Can't vote for neither one of them.
Hey, Xavier, you on point, man. You sound like me, man. That's how I sound. And I'm not supposed to sound that way according to these people. Like, you can't be that way, Tim Black. Yes, I can. Yeah, I know what you're talking about when you're a black male. They're like, you expect you to be a Democrat. But nah, go with your gut. I'm not going to tell you anything other than the facts and give you the information and let you make up your own mind. As of now, I don't like either one of these candidates. There it is. That's where I'm at, X. So, don't let anybody browbeat you, and you already got that under control. And I went and got my shirt while you were talking. I don't know if you're watching the show or just listening. Both parties suck, Johnson. That's my shirt. I decided to wear the Dump Trump shirt tonight. This will get a shirt on display next week. But I'm with you. Totally, brother. Keep your head up, fam. Yeah, people making excuses. It's like they play. It's almost like people just want their side to win and they don't care how bad their side is. Like, You know, you got to live with that guy for 4 years, maybe 8 years. And some people are saying, Tim, well, 4 more years of Trump or possibly 8 years of Biden. I'm like, God. Jesus, man, that's a horror film, isn't it? Like, I don't think Joe knows what's going on now. Can you imagine Joe Biden's cognitive level in 8 years? I don't want to think about how he's going to be in 8 weeks. Can't finish the sentence, blah, blah, blah. I was going to, and then we had but let it go, excuse me, I'm sorry. What were you talking about? Yeah, Putin. I think Putin needs. We need to do this with Russia. We need to get down to it. And I think another thing we need to. First things first. Last things last. And the thing before the thing. And my President Barack Obama, when the Biden and Barack administration, the Obama administration, and I'm out of time. Like, Joe, we just asked you to tell us when you're going to be signing the Paris Accord agreement. Oh, I'm a larky. Want to go outside? Want to do some push-ups? Want to go outside, do some push-ups? I can still go. You want to go? You want to go? Want to go outside? Let's go outside. Let's like, Grandpa. Sit down, Grandpa. You know? All right. 559. You're live on Freedom Friday. What's your name? What's your comment?
Hey, Brother Tim. It's Brother Eric. How you doing?
Brother Eric, what's up, man? How are you?
Oh, super fine. It's Good Friday. It's actually been pretty cold or unseasonably cold up here, but just another day, man. Just day by day. It's that's all we got to do. And again, just everything that reminds me of what we've talked about. I mean, you gotta prepare yourself. You got to do what you can. Control what you can control. I mean, that's the thing that we, with a lot of these callers with the COVID stuff. Let's get some things untwisted. Let's untwist a few things just bit by bit. Because, I mean, look, is the hysteria fake? That's probably debatable. There are real people dying. It's like, yeah, you can't. I wouldn't lead with, oh, yeah, I think it's fake. But because, I mean, frankly, who's it affecting? Hey, if you're unhealthy, yeah, I'd be worried. If you live in an urban area, goddamn right I'd be worried. Because that's who it's affecting. I mean, out here in the city and the suburbs, and then especially upstate, major differences, and especially in the Dakotas. But again, because people are losing their mind. When people lose their mind, all you can do is to do for yourself. Make sure you're eating, make sure the whole nine. And as long as you do that, you'll be okay. Because let's remind ourselves, it's kind of a pussy ass thing anyway. Again, 110 degrees kills it. In the microwave, 30 seconds kills it. Yep. Soap, hand washing, 20 seconds kills it. So it's just, again, things we've learned throughout the years, and just keep on. And then just again, if we've said it once, we've said it 1,000 times. Organized, sustained, disciplined resistance. I mean, again. Let's just call it for what it is. Is Trump worse than fucking Biden? Yes, he is. You bet your ass. Let's clear up a little something right now when it comes to, because people say, oh, yeah, lesser of two evil. Well, it's still evil. Wait a minute. Okay, take hot water, for instance. I want to tell you, there's a difference between the boiling pot and a jacuzzi. One's going to kill you. In fact, let's do cold. It's still cold. Yeah, one's going to make you get hypothermia and frostbite. How's that? The other one you can deal with. And the key is you deal with it. Because, I mean, there's only one thing I push back on anybody when it's, oh, well, maybe 8 years of Biden. Bullshit. What do you think impeachment's for? And that comes from the people. That's because we've advocated our responsibility. I mean, it's like I hear, again, those guys on YouTube. I'm sorry I'm getting a little, animated, but it's just, why aren't they on Capitol Hill? Okay, everybody said, oh, the lobbyists. Why aren't you there? Why aren't we there? Shit, if I didn't have a job or if I wasn't doing something right now, you bet your ass I'd be up there. But hey, maybe they know they fuck it up. And I'm actually glad they don't. Because you know what? Stay on the bench. because you don't have what it takes. You don't got the chops. You only got chops to run your mouth. It's easy to be a keyboard kamikaze behind the camera, right? But to get out there in the field and actually do shit, whole lot different story, isn't it? Oh yeah, go ahead and get your head kicked in, man. Anyhow,
Hey,
that's what we gotta remember.
Eric, I know I'm putting you on the spot, Eric, but give us some reasons why you think I got some reasons why I think Trump is worse than Biden, but what are some reasons that you have?
Oh boy, he doesn't believe in climate change. He's again, with the Biden's got the one, he's got a busload of them when it comes to that. You talk about incoherence and incompetence. This COVID situation brings out the leadership in anybody, and he has royally screwed it up. There's nobody, he never takes any blame. Yeah. He doesn't have any shame whatsoever. You will not shame this man into doing something. He always turns, even though he himself screws it up, he turns it into somebody else's fault. Every single, and he's brazen about it. He celebrates it. I mean, he's like, you know what? Yeah, I don't really know anything. I'm pretty incompetent, but you know what? I'm very boisterous and bombastic, and I'm going to overtalk you. That's their same line every single time. We all know people like that. He is just, par excellence, second to none. He's like the king, quite figuratively and literally right now. You can't go toe-to-toe with a guy like that. The best you can do, the only thing you can do, is get at him from the edges. From the edges, and get him, until all of a sudden, you know what? Hey, you don't play his game. You don't get into the gutter like that. You don't go comparing this and that. No, whoa, he's lied. What has he lied about? Has he given you any money? No. But he's given his buddies money, right? Look at the cruise industry again. I mean, airlines. Are you kidding me? I mean, they money out of thin air, and then who's the ones that are suffering? And I mean, I'll tell you something a little bit on from the street level with that. I mean, again, he's ending a lot of the, like a lot of the programs. He's cutting budgets.
That's true.
I mean,
very true.
This guy's a maniac. But I don't know. Again, this is not to defend Biden. This is just, hey guys, we got to remember, Biden is like that ex girlfriend or boyfriend of a very good friend of ours. You can only shit on him so much, because you got to remember, you shit on him too much, you end up starting to insult the guy who picked him. And that's a fact. Hey, he was the first black president's VP. You got to be cognizant of that. You shit on him once, let it go, and then answer questions, and then ask questions. That's how you handle it. Because if you keep on dumping on them, they're going to say, well, hey, like we've heard, well, he's not, how the hell bad could he be? He was Obama's VP.
That's what they say.
Check and mate. So come on, guys. Exactly. So let's be smart. Wolfpack, we got to lead by example. We can do this. We've seen it. And I normally don't stand behind that kind of crap when it comes to, anything like that with any politician. But you know what? Whatever gets Biden the hell out of there, hey, I'm good with it, man. So, because I don't really think he's going to beat Trump.
Yeah, that's the other side of it, man. Well, thank you, Eric, as always, brother Eric, calling up, man. I appreciate you, and I love the conversation we have back and forth, man. And but I'm with you, like, guys, don't get me twisted. Like, I do understand the threat that Trump is. I recognize it. Why do you think I may dump Trump? Because I didn't want to give people the impression that it's all about no Joe. Yeah, I say no to Joe, but dump Trump. And I know that's crazy, but guys, Trump is cutting programs that hurt people I care about. The most vulnerable people. That's the programs he cuts. Why do you cut Meals on Wheels? Do you know how much Meals on Wheels costs? He cut programs just to be a jackass. He cut programs he didn't even need to cut. The slither that Meals on Wheels for the elderly and the disabled is so tiny of our budget. There's no reason to cut that. He cut back the EPA. As Eric stated, he doesn't care about climate change. He doesn't believe it. He believes it. He just cares more about industry than he cares about Earth And it's similar to what we're going through now with COVID-19. He cares more about getting that economy back to running and less about people dying. And if anybody says he handled this so greatly, those people are delusional. They're drinking the Kool-Aid too much. And so don't get it twisted. I'm not absolving Trump of anything. I just also believe. Now, there's been some polls that say that Biden could do very well against Trump. We'll see. I don't think it's true. I think polls can tell you whatever you want the polls to tell you. But I do know that Trump has a base that has been coming out for him strong. And that Trump never stopped campaigning since the first day he stepped in to 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. Trump has been continuously campaigning. What do you think all the tweets were for? He's been doing this, man. So to get a guy who's unexciting, who's not riling up a base, there are no, like I hear these Biden bros backed into this position to support Biden. They're only doing it because what else can they do? They hate Bernie, and this is who they got. So now, and they hate Trump. But are they really strong Biden supporters? I've been a lot of places. I haven't seen a lot of Biden shirts. When I went to South Carolina, though they say he won South Carolina, I didn't see a lot of Biden supporters in South Carolina. I didn't see energy around Biden. Now, they say he won South Carolina handily. I don't know where it happened, where it came from. I was there. So we'll see what happens. Basically, this would all be an exercise of futility at the end of the day. It may not matter what we think about Joe Biden or Trump. I just don't think that Biden has the sauce. And if they really wanted to beat Biden, you know who I think they would have against him. I'm sorry. If they really wanted to beat Trump, you know who I think that they should have selected. So there it is. But thank you, Brother Eric. Gotta have those tough conversations, man. I know it's both bad. Both are bad. We got time. We got time to figure it out. 325. Thank you for holding on. You're live on Freedom Friday. What's your name? What's your comment?
What's up, Tim?
Hey.
Shantez, bro.
What's up, man? How are you?
Yo, I'm doing good, man. We have a saying in Texas, man. Fool me once, shame on me. If you fool me, you can't fool me again.
Right.
So you know what? I had to crack that joke, man, because honestly, bro, I really had a bad day. And the reason I'm calling in, I'm not worried about Joe Biden. I'm calling in, and I want to talk about the Ahmaud Arbery situation. So when is it going to stop, Tim? Tamir, Trayvon, Philando, Sandra, when is it going to stop, man? It's not going to stop. Because at the end of the day, even if you give those guys the best case scenario, right? It's three of them. You didn't even need a gun. You know what I'm saying? It's three of y'all. You shoot this brother in broad daylight, and you left him to die in the streets like a dog. And then you lie to his peoples, because you know what they got to do to us, Tim. If they kill us, they got to make us look like the bad person. Oh, you know what? He had a marijuana charge 2 years ago. So what? You don't kill him? Even if you saw him break into the house, why you shoot him? See, that's the thing, Tim. I think when they see black folks, they see a 6'10", 300-pound muscle-up guy. Because I live in Texas, man. Everybody and their mom got a gun. Tim, I go to restaurants, I go to, convenience stores, and you see them with their holsters. Some fat slob I saw at the gas station had his overalls, gun. I went to the library, gun. See a guy with a gun. And you know what they do? They like to start stuff just so they can have an excuse to kill us. They fight for that Second Amendment, not to bear arms, Tim. It's to be intimidating to black and brown folks. That's why they fight for it. I was in the military. I was trained with guns, but I don't need one because I don't plan on killing nobody. I don't think about that or shooting someone. And I don't understand, man, why it's going like this. I haven't cried in so long, but I shed a tear for that man and his family. So my condolences to his family, Tim. I'm going to keep this short because it's just a sad situation. And I don't know what's going to happen, man. It's like another Friday. Black man killed. It's getting too what's the word I'm looking for? We're getting too used to hearing about it that it doesn't even really affect us no more. So, I don't know, Tim, man. I love you, man. I love the show. Wolfpack. Keep it live, man. I just want to get that off my chest, bro.
Hey, thank you for calling up, Tez, man. I think the word you're looking for is called numbness, man. We feel a sense of numbness, like we don't feel it to that extent, but it did hit me as well, brother. I had a great conversation with Senator Nina Turner about it. For some reason, it didn't go as viral as I thought it would go. But we touched on a lot of issues that you're talking about. And you know how great a speaker Nina Turner is. All I can tell you, brother, is that we need to all rally behind these positions. The Tim Black Wolfpack is a special group of people that they understand when we talk about these issues, it's not an indictment of them personally because they didn't do anything. But we are a collective, and what happens in our communities impacts all of us. What happens in the indigenous community, what happens to an indigenous, no dapple, no one foot for no dapple harder than me in independent media. I've never been to the Dakotas. But injustice is injustice. Tara Reade, perfect example. I bring that issue up. I stand beside Tara Reade because to me, her story seems credible. And having worked around these bastards for almost 30 years, almost 25 years, I know how they roll. I know the games they play. I know how they disrespect women, having been there. Because I know how they disrespected me as a black man. I've experienced it in D.C. from day one. Smile more, Tim. They're afraid of you. What? I'm 19 years old. What did I do? You need to smile more. You're intimidating. You're tall. You're black. I mean, I don't want to offend you, but they don't know how to deal with you. Deal with me like a human being. So I understand. So we have to have each other's back. And just because you're uncomfortable, sometimes you're supposed to be uncomfortable. I'm getting a lot of that about this, Shantez. Some people are like, I'm not comfortable when I talk about this. Good. That means you're not a killer. You're a human being. You still have hope. You still have a pulse. You're still a human. You still have empathy and sympathy and morality and humanity. It's good. You're supposed to be bothered when you see a man. They shot him 3 times and he was unarmed. You're supposed to be bothered by that. Lord help us if you weren't. Everything can't be happy. So we start by shows like this where we bridge the gap. That's why, Shantez, that's why I got a diverse show. I got diverse callers. That's by design. It's by design because I figured, what good am I going to do just talking to all black people? What good would I do sanitizing myself and talking to all white people, which is something some folks do. Then they pull out their black card whenever they want to try to raise money. But that's not what we do on this show. This show is diverse from everybody across the world who call into this show, all types of colors and ages, because I intend it to be that way. It is by design because I want to be a bridge between all people so that we can fix problems. So anyway, I'm glad to hear from you. I feel you, young man. We got to keep on. We got to keep going, and we got to find solutions. Karan Butler, great basketball player. Also, I followed him. I don't know if you know Karan. He played for the Bullets for a while. Then I think he played for L.A. He was on a panel talking about incarceration, talking about what's going on in our prison system right now. And I'm telling you, with the folks from the Equal Justice Initiative, fantastic program. There are people working it right now. So all I can say, man, voice like yours, man, get involved, bro. Get involved. We need you to. I got your back. Have mine. Let's do this together. So, 603. 603, you live. Freedom Friday. What's your name? What's your comment? Hello.
Hello.
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, Good. Thank you, Tim. Thanks for the show and everything you do. And I hate to come in after what you just said because that was so beautifully stated about everybody just coming together to change what needs to be changed. But what was on my mind is, especially with what's going on and how much money has gone to Wall Street, I think that the latest figures with bank fees is $6 trillion while working people get $1,200 and, good luck to you. And I just wanted to bring to your attention that if everybody didn't know, there was a bill introduced today in the Senate, Kamala Harris, Bernie Sanders, and I think Ed Murkey, and it is a standalone bill. It has no pork in it, no nothing. It says that it's actually called, I believe, the Monthly Economic Crisis Support Act. It is $2,000 a month for every American if you're making less than $120,000 a year. It is retroactive to March, and it will go until the end of the coronavirus. When DHHS says that it's all clear, it will go 3 months after that in order for people to be able to, recover. And I feel like this is a time to get on the phone with our senators because there's no bipartisanship in it. There's nothing else but $2,000 a month to all workers over 18, and it might be over 16. And I feel like it's a clean shot for us to get a lot of families and a lot of people the help they needed. And I think it's Senate.gov. You can go to Senate.gov and just pick your state, and there's a way that you can email your senators. It's a really easy way to do it. So I just wanted to make sure you guys knew it because it's really, really sickening the way that they've sent all of this money to the top and let so many people, spend for themselves.
Well, I want to thank you so much for bringing me that info. That's great. We didn't. I'm gonna tell you.
Yeah.
I've been so focused on other stories. I missed that. That is amazing. We got to push that. I have to push that.
It's huge. I'll shoot an email over on your thing with the information. The bill is very easy to read. There's nothing else in it. It does not apply to people that are here illegally. So your Republican people are going to be able to get on board. Debt collectors cannot touch that money once it goes in. So there's that. And I think it'd be a really, really great way. So I'll jump over on your website and just shoot you the information so that you have it. But thanks for all you do for being an advocate for women and in this whole Tara Reade situation. And you're a prince among men. Love your show.
Thank you so much, sister. I love you back. And please, let's not call people illegal. Let's call them undocumented. I'm learning. It's a process, right? But thank you so much for the kind words. And I don't know, I teared up a little bit thinking about the people that would be helped by that money. I mean,
90 seconds.
There's so many people I know who are so much up against it right now. That for them to retroactively be able to, that's huge. And like, I don't want to get excited, but I do want to get involved with trying to do my best to get the word out about it. Thank you so much for calling up about that issue. All right.
60 seconds.
310, you're live on Freedom Friday. What's your name? What's your comment?
Hello?
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I was just calling to say, to encourage everybody that's upset about Ahmaud. He was my sorority sister's brother. And Nina Turner and I are in the same sorority. So that's something I'm going to reach out to her about. His family did set up a GoFundMe campaign.
Yes.
To start helping with some of the legal fees.
10 seconds.
Yeah, I've got it. I've promoted it, and I did a video on it, and I had the link in there. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay, great. Because it's doing really well, it looks like. So I am very happy about that. But my thing is that what black people going to have to realize in this whole thing, Tim, to me, is black lives don't matter in this country. And we need to quit, to me, marching, telling people they matter. We need to get our political, economic thing together to create the communities we need to get the respect that we need, because they don't. They don't. How many times have we sat through this? I don't have any tears left. I really don't. Right. And my thing is, like I said, until we take control of our communities, that's the only thing that's going to happen, that's going to stop this. Because how long we've been talking about this? 500 years? And my thing, and I get you in terms of us all working together or doing whatever, but a lot of this is going to have to fall on our shoulders, because white people that are concerned or whatever need to get out and deal with their own people, because they're the ones that are out there doing this, and it's still happening, regardless. And I know there are a lot of good intentions white people out there, but that's my point. I always tell them, go deal with your people, because white supremacy is what's doing this. Okay? And so we can't, it's only so much kumbaya as far as I'm concerned. And it's not to say, because we all the same. What's happening now is a lot more white people are starting to see the same foot been on my neck all this time is on yours too. And that's what's the truth about what you're saying in terms of people coming together, because all this stuff unraveling, you're seeing how crooked politicians are, you're seeing how jacked up the system is. We know this. We know this. Black people have known it for a long time. It's just white folks are starting to wake up and see, they having a black experience at this point. And we even see that they passed for all these stimulus packages to come through to help, because white folks are hitting it. When our black ass was out of work, didn't nobody pass a damn thing. We had to make it the best way we could. So my thing is, it's time for everybody to doo-doo or get off the pot, and especially with black folks. We got to pull our own stuff together, because sitting around waiting on the white man to do it, it ain't going to do it. Freedom ain't free. It ain't on sale for $5 a pound, okay? And, ain't nobody going to give it to you. So you're going to have to take it. And that's when we going to be real with each other, because, you with your show, I commend you, and Lord knows I want to be able to send you some money. I was going to email you about it. I'm a social media person, so maybe I can help you some other ways like that. But that's just it. Even with some of us black folks, we are numb. Yeah. We don't feel shit because we've been through so much. And the fact of the matter is, we've got to do some mental healing in order to even feel anything. To make the changes that we need to make. Because you can't wait on nobody else to do nothing for you that you need to do for yourself. So white folks, all y'all that's listening that want to do something, you need to be on the phone to some people down in Georgia. You need to be calling the DA and the prosecutor and folks or whatever, because to me, in order, unless you John Brown, the white folks that's really willing to get out there and put it on the line, we can't, it's only so far we can take this, because look, it took 2-3 months for this bullshit to come around. Right. The FBI knew about it already. You better damn well know that, but they didn't do shit. Yep. Right? Right. So I'm not under no delusion. So until I'm from Missouri originally, you got to show me, honey. Right. Okay. So that's all I had to say. And I'm so happy I got to get on your show tonight. But people, everybody, you need to go inside and look at yourself and what are you gonna do? That's the $1 million question.
It's a $1 million question. Thank you so much for calling up, sister. I appreciate
All right,
you.
honey.
On point. Absolutely. You know, I'm not. Don't make me look. Don't have me up here lying. I don't know if I got it all figured out, but I know I covered every shooting. Before I even ever said the word Bernie Sanders, I was covering the criminal justice system. I was covering black folks being shot by cops. I was covering the notion of black on black crime. What about Asian on Asian crime? No one talks about it. What about Native American on Native American crime? No one talks about it. So anyway, and it got to the point where I said, if I'm going to do some changing, I got to get more people involved. I just can't keep talking to an all-black audience, boo-hooing and being mad. We had to work with other people, the dominant people in the society who have more strengths, who can pick up phones and make things happen, you know, who have connections in the political arena. And then I realized the part of the problem was a political problem. It wasn't just getting the word out problem. We need laws to change. And how do you change laws? Politics. So that's how I got into the politics into this. Politics is tough, dirty, slimy, cutthroat, but we got legislative problems. I ain't talking about the pissed off white lady in the parking lot of Walmart using the N-word. I'm talking about a criminal justice system where they give mandatory minimums to children, to put children in solitary confinement, sister. We're talking about bond prisons where they ain't nothing but indentured servitude with no way out. You know what I'm saying? Prison industrial complex. So like everything from the prison labor, all that, like these are legislative. This is law. These are laws. And just being upset and having a channel where we all agree, and I'm preaching to the choir. You know what I'm saying? Ain't pretty much anything I'm going to say, you're going to agree with it because we share that legacy of pain. We know what the problems are. Black people don't need to be told what the problems are. We need solutions. So that's what it got me involved in the political side of things, was saying, do you want to just be somebody who makes money off talking about black people pain, or do you want to be a part of change? I want the latter, right? And I tell you something else. We got people out here, and this is not for my white folks, this is for my black folks. We got black folks. We need black folks that are willing to die. Period. Right now, we got black folks who ain't willing to miss a paycheck. Hello? See, that's the difference. That's why shit ain't moved since the 60s, because people got jobs now. Feel me? There are people who give exception and excuses for other black people, watching other black people be dogged out, shot in the street, and they look the other way because they don't want to risk their job. But back in the 60s and the 50s and the 40s, we had black people who were willing to be bit by dogs, beat with batons, taken outside and shot in the back of the head. That's what happened. It happened to black folks and white folks and Jewish folks in freedom vans across this country, in unmarked graves, buried in ditches on sides of roads in towns whose names we don't even remember. That's the reality of the struggle. But now we got people that just want, instead of doing good, they want to live good. Instead of making the world better, they want to live better. That's the difference. So until we change that mentality, as you say, that's internal, I don't know how we're going to fix this. And I don't mean to be negative, but that's keeping it real. How they going to say the reason why you ever had a new MLK, because everybody want to check. That's why I went hard on John Lewis. And I had a challenger to John Lewis telling me I'm going too hard on John Lewis. That guy been taking a check for 40 years. He ain't did nothing since 65, 67, 68, 69. He been taking a check for the last 30 years. But you're the one who you say should take his seat, and you're telling me I'm going too hard on this brother? As he comes out and uses MLK's name to help Joe Biden get elected? So I can go on and on. I got stories. I want to write a new chapter. All right. Lord have mercy. I tell you. 310, you're live, Freedom Friday. What's your name? What's your comment? Oh, my bad, 310. I think we just talked. I got carried away. I wrote you there. 360, you're live, Freedom Friday. What's your name? What's your comment? All right. 701. You're live on Freedom Friday. What's your name? What's your comment? $701. I hope the phone line working. Okay. I'm just going to keep going down the list. Maybe it's not working. 619. There we go. Hey.
Hey, Jim.
How you doing, man? 619. What's on your mind?
Hey, I'm good, Mr. Black, man. I didn't know if the phone was kind of messing up too, but no, everything is going pretty good, man. I mean, it's been a hell of a week, man, to be a black male in this country, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Just the anxiety that you get from seeing these images that seem to play out like over and over again. I don't think that sometimes our white brethren knows exactly how that can kind of make us feel, the type of mindset it puts you in, because we spend our whole time trying not to piss off white folks so that they don't hurt us and shoot us and malign us and put us in jail and, you know, just all those particular things, you know. So it's been a hell of a week on that front, man. How is everything in Maryland on your end as far as like the COVID and everything?
And you know what? Our numbers have not plateaued, so our numbers are still going up, so we're still in place in Maryland.
Got you. Being out on the West Coast in San Diego, I can't say, you know, with all the nightmares that have been going on across the country, I can't say Gavin Newsom has really kind of stepped up as much as he can. I mean, there's still cases everywhere, but, you know, he kind of shut a lot of things down early to kind of curb some things, even though I'm still not trying to go outside like everybody and, you know, just keep everything normal, because, you know, the second wave is definitely on its way, since the corporations care more about money than they do the people. So, you know.
Very true.
But I just wanted to say, man, I really appreciate what you do, man. I appreciate just the videos come in handy in terms of just relief during like this crazy, stressful time, man. And you know, one thing on the Tara Reade thing, I think it's really messed up that the left-wing media, the mainstream media, you know, when it's something about Trump or Republicans, they jump all on it. But now that people don't want a Trump second term, they don't care about Tara Reade and all the facts and receipts that she seems to have. And it's a lot of Democrats just looking the other way. And, you know, I used to be what you would call a bleeding heart liberal back in the Obama days, '08, and, you know, 2012. But my eyes are open now, so I just can't turn a blind eye. You know, I called you, I think, like a couple months ago, and I told you that, you know, I was having, you know, complex conversations with, like, the black, you know, baby boomers who just couldn't mess with Bernie and just loved Joe Biden. And I'm like, I don't understand it. But, you know, everybody sees the real now because, you know, people can't hide no more. But, you know, I appreciate you, Tim Black. Love being a part of the Wolfpack, man. And keep it going, man. You got love out here in the 619 in San Diego.
Man, I
Come
appreciate
smoking with your boy if you ever get a chance.
You know it, man. Thank you so much for calling, fam. And, man, I really appreciate it, man. Like I told you probably a couple months ago when you called, man, that keeps me going, man, because sometimes, you know, everybody needs positive reinforcement, man. You guys keep me going. I try to keep you going, and we work together. This is a teamwork. That's what we're doing here. But, yeah, man, it's disgusting, frankly, what they're doing with Joe Biden right now. Look, I don't know what happened, but we should find out. That's all I'm saying. And if Joe Biden can't deal with talking about Tara Reade, how you going to beat Trump? I mean, Trump is a professional liar. Come on, man. If you can't, like, he had one real debate with Bernie, and then they were like, oh, that's it. Break. That's it. No more. You ain't going to be able to do that with the Republicans. You do realize that, right? And now we got Tara Reade. Dude, get out in front of it and deal with it. He stayed in place for 2 months while this stuff swirled through the air and the snowball got bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and more info came out. He could have dealt with this from the door. He could have got out in front. This was his strategy to let them all discredit her, and let's see if it goes away. But my point stands, family. If Joe Biden can't deal with Tara Reade, he ain't going to be able to deal with Trump. This is all an exercise. We just passing time because it don't matter what we think because he's going to lose to Trump. Because ain't no way you could tell me that Trump ain't going to give him a more harder way to go than Tara Reade. That's just how it is. But thank you, brother, for the phone call, man. I appreciate you. These people are delusional, man. 859, you're live Freedom Friday. You're live Freedom Friday. What's your name? What's your comment? 859.
Hey, I'm Lisa from Virginia now, and
Hey.
I believe Tara.
Why did you believe her? What made you believe her? What was it?
My kid had to state something that was like devastating to the entire family, and I had to deal with demons in my soul, and it is what it is.
How did
I can't tell you how horrible this sounds, and I really, really, really want to express to my senators, Mark Warner and Tim Kaine, but I think Bernie understands that when you have to say, hey, my other daughter's kid molest my other daughter's significant other molested my child, I really don't know how you express that in the real world. I really don't. I love you, Tim, and I can't continue with this conversation, but
right. Things are not as easy to talk about as these people
It's
make it
not.
out to be. Right. Right.
And I love you, and I believe Tara beyond all doubt because it's real in the real world. They're not going to hang up. I love you.
All right, sister. Thank you so much for calling, Lisa. We appreciate you and we love you back. And thank you for sharing a little bit of your story with us. I think we get the point. I think we got some people listening to this show right now, Alicia, that know what you're talking about on a deep level, who may not say it, but they feel it. And that's why I love doing this, because I know it resonates with people. And people need if nothing else, they need the therapy, and they need to get it out, and they need to know they're not alone. So, real quick, I'm going to go to the next call. You next. You're next. 916, you're next. Let me say this. When I walked into the auditorium in South Carolina, covering South Carolina, we went down there to see the Bernie Sanders campaign. We We was at our third rally of the day, watching Bernie and Nina's voice hoarse, doing hour speeches at all three events. We were early at the third event at the auditorium. A brother about 60 runs up to me. He says, Tim Black, my brother. I said, hey, how you doing, man? We just got here. We trying to get set up. Man, this is great. He's like, man, thank you for... And he said, Tim Black, you don't know me. You don't know me. In fact, you don't know a lot of people, but you know what, brother? A lot of people know you. I'm so happy to meet you, and I'm so happy you're here. This show has legs, and we reach a lot of people. So thank you, Lisha, for sharing your words with these people, because these people are like family. We appreciate you. 916, I told you I was coming to you next. You're live. What's your comment? What's your name? What's your comment?
Hello, Tim.
Hey, how you doing?
Good, man. Hey, my pleasure to talk to you. Thank you for taking my call. I had two topics to bring up. I've been watching you for a little bit now, for a while online, and I just appreciate your voice and what you talk about, a good perspective that you bring online. I think there's two things, One is that black folks need to be more strategic in how and who they vote for. Clyburn in South Carolina set off the whirlwind that ended up becoming what we ended up having on Bloody Tuesday. And he sold out his folks by endorsing Biden. And he did it for either political reasons, power reasons, monetary reasons, whatever they may be, but they were not for black folks. And unfortunately, a lot of black folks in the South, they just follow, either they follow somebody because they're black. There's the legacy of Obama. Obama had a great opportunity to change what we currently experience with with police officers. He could have came out with a program to retrain all of America's police officers so they would not kill people. They would learn how to de-escalate problems. And he could have made that a point, but he chose not to. The same way that he chose to back up and actually put money into the bankers and to bail the corporations out, he could have chose to do that and set up a program for police officers not to be killing black folks, brown folks. That's one point. And it goes back to the initial thing that I talked about, being strategic. Black folks need to learn to be strategic. And I don't know how we do that, because it's going to take a lot, but it has to happen. And we have to learn how to vote for the right people. That's one. Second, I really enjoy what you've been talking on online the last couple of weeks. You've been talking about Biden, his dementia, Tara, and all these points. And unfortunately, right now, the progressive movement is dying right before our eyes. There's a lot of people who are deflated, who look to Bernie, unfortunately, maybe too much without criticizing him. And we did not strategize enough and push them enough while he was doing the second run that he had in 2020. And unfortunately, you see everything's coming to light. The people that he had that were running his campaign, they ran it to the ground. And now we're all kind of squirming, the progressives, trying to figure out what we're going to do next. And it's not easy. So I just wanted to share that.
All right, man. Thank you for the phone call. I appreciate it. I guess we're going to just have to differ some of the finer points about the Bernie Sanders campaign. Yeah, I mean, I've talked about it ad nauseum. I'm sure you've heard me give you the spiel, brother. I talked about it with Dr. Cornel West. I talked about it with Senator Nina Turner. What we saw happen, unprecedented. It's a lot of Monday morning quarterbacking, man. A whole lot of it. And I don't think it's as helpful as people think it is. Could there be different things done? Always. Always. You have no idea how they would have turned out, though, Johnson. None of us do. For all of the criticism, all the critiques, for all of the people coming out after the fact talking about what the campaign lacked, and that's some of the people that were in the campaign as well. None of them were talking when we won Iowa, New Hampshire, Nevada. Never been done before. No one talked. No one said, this sucks. We're a horrible campaign. Bernie's stupid. He's a coward. This is weak. We're not doing this. We're not doing that. Now, there's always going to be complaints about, I agree, there's been complaints about black leadership within the Bernie Sanders campaign, about attention to black issues. I think Bernie had gotten a little bit better with his articulation of the problems for talking to the black community. But was also humble. He also was hamstringed by the fact, as Brother Eric pointed out, he's up against the VP of the first black president, and they looked outwardly to have a very close relationship. And to a lot of folks, that meant a lot because white people don't treat them so well in the South. And that veneer of, he looked like he really respected Barack, went a long way with people. It may seem superficial and non-strategic to you, but looking at it from their point of view, it looked like the actions were not actions, not words. They never saw Biden disrespect Barack. So to them, that's, for people who are not heavily engaged in politics, that's a lot for them. I'm not giving them a pass on it. But I just want to make it brief, and I'll just say, brother, what happened on Super Tuesday has never happened before. I don't know how you prepare. I guess it's like Pearl Harbor, right? Like, yeah, okay, you could guess maybe the Japanese will come in through Hawaii. Maybe you could have that plan, but until it happens, who's prepared for that? Biden was on the back burner. Nobody was talking about Biden. We were all looking at Buttigieg. Now, maybe some people should have been looking at Biden more, but for real, Bloomberg. Remember Bloomberg? No one talks about Bloomberg. Bernie was against all of these forces, and no one. I still to this day, brother. I don't know how people leave. They leave out all these things. You leave out that we had a billionaire in the race who had dumped $500 million already. Already. It was lining up behind Joe Biden. We leave out Buttigieg was catching fire. This empty suit, this fake man, this robot person, this amalgamation, this thing, this Westworld zombie, this not even a person to me. What does he stand for? Nothing. He's a mixture of whatever you fill him up whatever you want, and that's what he takes on. He's lifeless, he's formless. He's a smile and a suit, and it's empty. But people were gravitating to him. Then we had Elizabeth Warren splitting the progressive vote with people in media going, hey, her Bernie's, it's a toss-up. It's a toss-up. So all of this is happening at the same time. That's a lot. It's unprecedented. I'm not saying people could have done better. I'm saying, are we really looking at, are we rewriting history a little bit here? Just saying. Trump wasn't up against that. Now, imagine what Trump had won if all the Republicans lined up behind one person instead of splitting all their energy and money in simultaneous different directions. What Trump had won if they were smart enough in a devilish way to do what the Democrats did. I don't think they would have. But once again, I'm not saying the Sanders campaign was perfect, and I don't think anyone on that campaign says that at all. But I do believe when people are down and upset, the book that sells is the book of complaining. When the game is over, the book that sells is the book that's the tell-all book. And if it don't have a lot of drama in it, ain't nobody going to buy the story, Johnson. So that's what I believe. That being said, As Dr. Cornel West said, a man is not a movement, and we will not have the change we want. We will not get it through electoral politics. It will be done in the streets. It will be done by movement leaders, not in politics, outside of politics. We ain't going to get it all done by getting an official elected into this corrupt system. So I yield to wiser minds who have been in this longer than I have. And I say he's got to have some relevancy in his words. I'm angry too. But I'm not going to spend my energy on that. And I focus on a lot of things. All of them have not been Tara Reade and Joe Biden's dementia. I must have put out 50 videos in the last 2 months on a smorgasbord of issues, you know what I'm saying? But I feel you, man. I appreciate you calling the show, and we ain't got to agree on everything for you to have a voice. But I will defend my name, and I will defend where I stand, and I will try to make it plain. But yeah, ain't no perfection, man. Ain't no perfection. Hell, Dr. Cornel West said that Bernie Sanders is his dear friend, and what did he say? But he'll criticize Bernie too. But is it criticism to call him a coward? Is it fair criticism to say he's a sellout and a sheepdog? I don't buy into that. And I'm surprised so many people do. I think there's an aspect of marketing and branding and salesmanship in this as well that people need to be cognizant of. People got bills to pay. 701. I tried you earlier, didn't I? Let me try you again. 701, you live, Freedom Friday.
Am I on here?
Hey, how you doing?
Am I on here?
Yes.
Tim, can you hear me?
Yes, I do. How you doing?
Okay. It's good to hear your voice, Tim.
All right now.
This is Nathaniel Pittman from North Dakota.
North Dakota. My brother.
This is back to, I can relate to everything that everybody's saying, but what I do, I decided years ago that the only thing that matters to me are facts and details. STEM, science, technology, engineering, mathematics, economics, religion, and politics, because all of those things determine where we're going. If you're not concentrating on it, if somebody's on the news or saying something, if they're not giving you the facts and the details, science, technology, engineering, economics, mathematics, politics, and religion, then all they're doing is just filler. They're just filling your sausage with oatmeal. You ain't getting the real thing. So first off, you were talking about Bernie Sanders. The reason why I support Bernie Sanders and have is because every major event we have faced as a nation and the world has faced as well over a 40-year period that I could find any information on Bernie Sanders, he was right there in the middle of it, saying the right thing on the right side of history, telling people this is what we have to do. We have to come together. We have to work for these goals. And for those people that think that, Bernie Sanders is a sellout or whatever, I want you to understand this. If we had elected Bernie Sanders in 2016 instead of allowing Hillary and the clan of industrial corporate politics to take your vote from you, we wouldn't be in this situation with COVID-19 right now. And that's just straight up. But when I say that military industrial complex corporate politician, when they say vote blue, no matter who, if you look up, somebody can find it. I found it in the WikiLeaks, the John Podesta emails concerning Hillary Clinton and Bernie Sanders. And what shocked me, I can't point out the exact, but it's still a fact. It is in there. The WikiLeaks are still online. They can be found.
Yes.
I found where one of the guys had written an email in the Podesta emails, and he was telling somebody else because everybody was scared Bernie Sanders was going to win over Hillary, and they had to keep pushing Hillary. But the statement that stood out to me was, he said, and I can't even remember the guy's name because it's, I know that goes against everything I just said about facts and details, but I know it's there, and I can find it again, and I'll put it up on the show. But what he said was, we cannot start believing our own bullshit when he was talking about vote blue no matter who, because it's not vote blue no matter who. It's vote blue no matter who they pick for you. That's what they want you to do. And they said that the idea was to get the people to say, hey, Bernie's got a chance. My guy's got a chance. No, he didn't have a chance because the Democratic Party, like they said when Debbie Wasserman Schultz went to court for rigging the election, and Donna Brazile admitted that the election was rigged, and then she retracted on it. What they had said was, we could go in a back room filled with smoking champagne, smoking cigars, and pick whoever the hell we want to, regardless of what the people want. But that aside, Bernie Sanders, if you do a search yourself, anybody that's listening, and you look at every stance that Bernie has stood on through a 40-year history, what you will find is a video of him, the words coming out of his mouth. You hear the horse talking, saying exactly what happened. The Iraq War, he was against it. We were wrong. Everybody was like, man, this guy's a coward. Man, this guy, he applied for a conscientious objector. He didn't go in the military. He's no better than Trump. Now, let me explain something about the conscientious objector. Watch a movie called Hacksaw Ridge. If you don't believe in God, that's fine. But you watch a movie called Hacksaw Ridge, about a true story about a conscientious objector who refused to hold a firearm. His job in the Army was to save lives as a combat medic. And he was awarded his constitutional right as a conscientious objector, and he won the Congressional Medal of Honor, or Bronze Star, Silver Star. He pulled down more bodies off of Hacksaw Ridge, more live soldiers, saved more lives than anybody they ever thought possible. But if you watch that movie, that'll give you a clue on what Bernie Sanders is now. I come from a military family. I have 8 brothers, 1 sister, 3 Marines, 2 Air Force, 1 Navy. My father was in the Air Force. My brothers always told me when I was growing up, you stay home. The reason why you stay home is because we've made our contribution and you are our backup. So coming from the perspective of that, I decided that, well, my brothers don't know. 2 of my brothers, one of them, he was like, we don't talk shit about the Vietnam War because you don't know nothing about the Vietnam War. Until I told him, you know what? You know the Vietnam War was over tire rubber, right? And he's like, what the hell are you talking about? It's like, the Vietnamese were being enslaved by corporatists, just like the ones that live here in the United States and take over stuff here in the United States. From a personal perspective, North Dakota has billions and billions of dollars, billions of barrels of oil. But we allowed our politicians to sell our oil, our mineral rights, to people from Texas and Houston. And there's actually a book written about how disgustingly rich Houston got off of North Dakota's oil. Our last budget in 2017, we were $500 million in the hole. The 6 years prior to that, we had a $6 billion surplus. We had our own, the only state-owned bank in the United States, the Bank of North Dakota. That was founded in the early 1900s to save farmers from going under. It's a publicly owned bank. It's not Wells Fargo. It's not a BNC. It's not any of the big banks. It's a Bank of North Dakota. You could apply for a loan, get a small business loan, start your own business. As you're a resident of the state of
Perfect, Nathaniel. I got to leave it there, brother. You went a lot of different locations on me, but I appreciate you calling up and sharing your story, man. I got to get the next call in. Thank you so much for showing up and calling up. We thank you. 614. You're live, Freedom Friday.
Hello, Tim.
Hey, Alvin. What's up, brother?
Alvin here.
Hey.
Oh, last caller went. Whew, lot of history.
Yes.
Oh boy. Okay. Quick update to what's happening here. I'm down on the Prime Minister, which is basically that's the president, has said everything looks good now. So they're trying to take steps to reopen. I think there's a 3-step plan. I think one is they will allow people to gather 10 people at a time. So the schools open. That's primary and nursery and.
Well, the schools are back open.
So forth. Yes, they are back open. Yes. So some of the some states have already started that. I think there's a state that the last new case that they had was 3 weeks ago. So they have opened the beaches and everything. So everything looks okay, but they're still keeping an eye closed on a possible second wave. But for now, we're having between 17 to 10 new cases a day, which is very good because at the time it was we actually reached about 800 in a day. So now it's way down. So they're still watching. So everything looks good and everything seems okay. But everyone is still making sure that everything was okay. Then as for the what's it called, monthly something, they did it in kind of phases because they have something like Social Security here. So most people that went that lost their jobs, they applied for increased Social Security, but it's called something else. So I think it's called Centrelink. So they applied for that. So everything's okay or not. Then as for, let's go back to things in America. There are two things that I'm thinking about right now. I don't know if you heard this. There are some right wingers that pay the woman to say that she was sexually assaulted by Dr. Fauci. I don't know if you have heard of that story. No. The famous that's I think you should know this. Some right winger. What's his name? David Walsh. That guy that did the same thing to Mueller, which everyone laughed at them. I think. I don't know. The women that they keep on giving money, keep on reporting them, and nothing keep happening to these guys. I don't know. It's a strange thing that's happening in America anyway. That story. And the second is this the guy that was shot by those two white guys, and their friend was following them up with Ahmaud, yes, and their friend was following them up with a car. That's the reason why we knew what was happening, because some idiots decided it was going to be fun to record the whole thing. If not, they would have said, "Oh, this guy was involved in a robbery. That's why he got shot by the." It's so strange, and I'm just thinking, how long is this going to go on, and how many cases that are not reported, that are not filmed, that people get shot, thrown in jail, killed for no reason. No one is ever gonna know. That's pretty sad. But anyway, as for this Bernie talk, I don't know. I think progressive should just move on. It's over and focus on the down ballot races, and because whether it's Trump or whoever that gets in power, if we don't have enough legislators that will hold hold people like Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer to do what they're supposed to do, it's not even going to matter who's going to be there at the end of the day, whether it's Biden or Trump at the end of the day. Because me and my brother always have this conversation. He's like, Biden said this, Biden said that. I'm like, Biden and Trump have the same donor, so Pelosi as well. Schumer. So what's the difference? I'm not interested in what they have to say. They're just acting, as far as I'm concerned, and that's the way I think about it. And when you explain that to more people say, "Oh, okay." And the sad part is that the average voter doesn't know that a lot of these people are being funded by companies. That's the sad part of it. And you now wonder, how don't they know? Because the media doesn't say anything about it.
Right.
They just talk about it in passing. So anyway, that's my spiel, and thanks for the platform. And the hi to Eric. He's always had good points, and I always love him. And I always love them. Listen to his takes. Anyway,
thank you,
take
brother.
care, Tim.
You got it, Albert. Thanks for calling up, man. Good to hear from you from the land of Down Under, my brother. Yeah, man. Wow. Yeah, it's good stuff. Good stuff. Good stuff. We had a good show tonight, guys. Hard-hitting show, real show, as usual. Thank you guys for calling up. Everybody being a part of it. Follow me on Real Tim Black on Facebook and Twitter. Let's jump out here now, read the comments section, and see if people have left comments for me that I need to read out. Remember, this also goes out on iTunes. We got a podcast version of the show if anybody's interested in just listening while you do whatever you do. Cyborg Manifesto says, I appreciate you. Thank you, Cyborg. Art. Thank you, Art, for supporting the show. Sheldon, once again, Truth Bombs from Tim Black. Thank you, Sheldon. I appreciate you, man. Buddy. You're a truth warrior, Tim. Never stop. I try. What's the point? What's the point of hedging, right? Just call it out. Call it out, right? Jur, always so happy to hear progressives from the 978. That's what's up. OG Johnson, thank you, Tim Black. I donated to Paula. Get her on. I will. You know she's been on here before. She'll be back. Brother Tim Black, can you interview Dario Hunter? I don't know. I haven't heard from Dario. Princess Queen, I'm not ready to sacrifice my integrity to vote, or I'm not willing to sacrifice my integrity to vote blue anywho. See, I knew what she was going to say. Hashtag believe women. Princess Queen. Anna Bird is retired, and she says, I was active duty Navy from 1987 to 1991, then worked in the oil field. Everyone knew I was not the one to play those games. They punished accusers back then. What? Exactly. Thank you. A mayor's in the house. Biden kills the movement. Consider that seriously. He doesn't. He ain't killing my movement. Jenny love all of you. J Hope's ego says, Tim works hard for the money. Thank you, Tim. Well, thank you, J Hope. Ty says, originally from North Carolina, NE, Northeast Georgia. That's why you think I sound like Dave from Stone Mountain. I like a complete view of things. That's why the devil's advocate sometimes. It's all good, man. I do it too. I have one video where I went at the demonstrators, the other video where I sympathized with them, and then I ended up somewhere in the middle because I try to hit everybody because it's just an opinion, and relying on feedback from my audiences. If your job is to reach people like you are, when you guys call the show, you're now a media person in a way, because people are listening to you just like they listen to me. You have the opportunity to affect people. Look at what Kara does. Look at what Brother Eric does. Look at what Dave from Stone Mountain does, and Uli, and Rebecca Lane, and Rev Marie. When people call up, when you call up, when Shantae calls up, when you guys call up, and Alva calls up, you drop your thoughts into someone else's spirit, in their brain. They're listening to you now, so you're a media person at that point. What's up, media personalities? Tristan said, is Keegan Michael Key an Uncle Tom for his latest political ad with Joe Biden? It feels like it, and it pains me to think of him as such. Stay strong, Wolfpack. Oh, man, I went through this in 2015. Do you know how many people came out for Hillary and did corny-ass ads? It bothers me for a long time. It really did. Like, I don't know if he's an Uncle Tom for it, but, I think some people believe, how can I say this? I do believe it's possible for people to believe that Joe Biden is better than Trump and for them to want to fight for that. I also believe that some people think that Trump is better than Biden, and they fight for that. And that doesn't mean that they're Uncle Toms. It just means we got different sets of information that we're going on, right? For some people, right? And I need to reach more of them so they can understand what's happening. But yeah, like I had to realize that because I've been on panels with people that had different ideology, and I'm not going to, like Shermichael. Shermichael's a commentator, he's a Republican, he lives in Virginia. Cool guy, man. I disagree with him a lot on the point of view he takes on some of the policy points, but I don't think he's playing a game. I think that's really what he believes. I disagree with it. We had different takes, but I don't think he's doing it. I don't think his belief system is based in being an Uncle Tom or a sellout. You know what I'm saying? And that's growth for me. Because I just rather have it cut and dry. Sell out. I used to have a show called No Sellouts. My show. I invited people on the show. Then I got one guy came on the show, and I was like, hey, we could do this more often. And then people thought it was his show because he was, I don't know why they thought that. But anyway, I wouldn't do that show now. Though I like the topic, the title, No Sellout, it's hard to know exactly who's a sellout. Well, not always that hard. I'm going to keep going, man. Pam Hall, what's up, Pam? Thank you, Pam. Dave L. Buttigieg is coaching from Mishima's Confessions of a Mask. That's exactly how he turned away from the dad's left policies. Buttigieg is coaching from Mishima's Confessions of a Mask. Dr. Cornel West was good friends with Buttigieg's dad. Cornel West and Buttigieg's dad had very similar ideology. And at the end of the day, what does Pete do? He becomes Joe Biden's little brother or son, in theory. Weird, right? Sellout. Artificial morphism. Artificial morphism. The establishment dims through Franken under the bus, but all endorse Biden. What the F is that? It's obvious we are the peasants. They don't care. Dude Man's in the house, and he supports the show. Dude Man in the house. Thank you, Dude Man. Oh, man. O.G. Johnson had two comments. One was F Biden. The other one was F Trump. Man. I love the Wolfpack. We're so articulate. No, man. Real talk, guys. That's all good. Like, why miss words, right? Brother Eric says, "Hey, don't come with that horse crap. Trump is worse." Yeah. He's worse if you need the environment, if you want the planet to function. We're going to have a lot of conversations about Joe Biden leading up to this. I still haven't given up hope that maybe the Democratic Party will wake up and be like, you know what? We're going to lose. We'll see. All right, guys, that's it. Remember, tomorrow, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Tim Black and you will be here with Ida Rodriguez. We're going to put her down. Topics will probably be Ahmaud Arbery and Reade. Hope you join me. Don't forget to become a member of the Wolfpack because you're the one who funds this show. You are the show supporters. You are the advertisers. You are. So thank you for being thank you for helping support the show. I appreciate it. That's it. I'm gone. I'm tired. I'm through. I love you. Be safe. Remember, don't let nobody take your cornbread. And don't argue this weekend. Just sprinkle some facts on them and get out of here. Peace. Wow. The Tim Black Show is streamed live in front of an internet audience. To become a member, go to Tim Black. Go to patreon.com, Tim's Take Live. Do that today, y'all. What's up? Wolfpack.